edition of. uh, we got a lot going on. There's a lot going on. These emails. I think these emails have been the biggest topic of discussion lately. They've been taking over everything, like literally taking over everything. It's like email after email after email. And you know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that he's not even concerned, or being a pedophile is not his concern. I don't think that's his concern. I'm starting to think that's not the concern he has. And the fact that he's a pedophile, I don't think that's the concern he has. What's up, Toothless? I was like, I don't think that's his biggest concern right now. I think there's more in those files that expose him for more stuff than what he's actually doing. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's more in there than just the stuff that we think is there. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the biggest thing to it. It's just like, I think he's a bigger. Come here. Say what's up to the people. People like kitties. I was just like, I think that's I think is the bigger concern. I don't think it's him being caught for the things he might be caught for. I think there's more in those files uh that not only implicate him but implicate the people around him. Because the thing is there's too many people that are just there, and the crazy thing about it is these files is just like they're coming from the Epstein estate. So my thing is a lot of these files they've already had. So these are some of the files that they already had. What else haven't they been showing us? Because this is the stuff that they've been coming out with that has been available for them to use. The crazy thing is that they're using it now, which is the part that I don't understand, which is kind of the confusing part about most of this. And there's like they're using this in that manner. And I know TikTok is not gonna like me talking about that stuff. Um they want me to talk about MAGA. They want me to talk about MAGA, and just like MAGA, how are you supposed to do it? Or maybe it's because I'm saying that I'm live somewhere else also, even though there shouldn't be a problem with me being live. Come on, cat. You gonna have to go, bro. You're gonna have to go. But yeah. So that's just the interesting part about most of this is just that a lot of the stuff that's going on, he's not like they're hiding something, but the thing is, it's gonna be telling what Republicans and MAGA choose not to vote for this. Because the thing is now that it's going to go to a vote, it's different because now it's going to be recorded. There's going to be a recorded vote where there's going to be a roll call for the vote. And with that roll call, they're going to show and say, hey, you voted to not let the Epstein files out. You voted to let the files out. Now, the crazier thing about that is that this should be the one thing that should be unanimous in Congress. This is the one iteration that it should all be everybody on the same side, everybody agreeing, everybody saying, and it should be a unanimous vote to release these files. Because the thing is any congressman or representative or anybody in Congress right now that decides not to vote for this, that's gonna be a very questionable thing to do. Because then you got to start looking into it, just like, why would you not want these files to come out? Like, why would you continue to try to hide them? Because now you're going to vote for it. Because before it was just a petition. With the petition, they didn't want to sign it. So the petition was already like questionable because it was already having people not wanting to sign off on a petition. Because you got to remember, it's those four Republicans. It was Lauren Boebert, Marge, Butch Body, Bad Built Taylor, Massey, and I forget who the fourth one was. But it was those four that first wanted these files to come out. You remember Nancy Mace was talking all this nonsense, and then Nancy Mace started disappearing. She went to the hearing where the victims were talking. The victims were talking, and she just decided that, oh no, I'm not going to take any part of this. And she just walked out and stormed out because it was too much for her. But then she didn't sign off to the petition to have these things released. So it's just like the implications that's within here are wild, to say the least. The other thing that most people haven't said anything about, and I haven't heard MAGA mention it, I haven't heard of any MAGA content creators and the Republican content creators talking about the fact that the Prince of England lost his titles. You haven't heard no Republican or no MAGA say anything about that. And they're probably going to be like, well, it doesn't concern us. I was like, it must be pretty concerning that you were a prince and you lost your title. What's up, D? Those, you know what that is to be a prince and you lose your title? These people do all sorts of shit. And you lost your royalty titles? They even tried to kick him out the damn house. And no Republican, nobody saying anything of the sort, right? So it's just interesting how quiet MAGA gets with this. You haven't seen much like, well, I don't pay attention much to MAGA in the first place. That y'all already know is obvious. I don't really pay attention to these people. But the fact that they pretty quiet right now is just like, how, what else can MAGA say to defend this dude? You can only say you're securing the border for so fucking long. you can, you can only say that you're securing the border for so fucking long. Let me see. MAGA thoughts. Because I would love to hear them explain it. That's what I'm gonna make it. That's what I'm gonna make this MAGA thoughts. Because I would love to hear what they got to say to this. Because this is perfect for them to. This is the perfect time for MAGA to say what they gotta say. The perfect time. This is actually the best time for them to come out and start talking. Because MAGA's been awfully quiet. MAGA don't have much to defend. Because the thing is like, so, and then you had, what was it that that person came on today? I forget, Megan something, saying that, oh, a 15-year-old is not the same as a 5-year-old, or some wild ass fucking statement that she fucking made. What up, Flip? What up, Evie? Nah, I'm just trying to. I'm just want to. Today, I don't even want to ridicule these people. I don't even want to ridicule MAGA. I don't even want to talk shit to them. I just want to hear their actual thoughts. I want to hear what they got to say to this. I want to hear what explanation or what nonsense they have, because you can view these emails, and the thing is it's no longer a hoax. You can't say it's a hoax. You can't say it's a lie. They're having a vote on it. They're legit having a vote to release these files. So the thing is it's there. It's real. It's not a Democratic hoax anymore. You got Republicans that want the files to come out too. So it's not like you can't come up with anything else. But MAGA, I know y'all gonna tune in, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about, and y'all gonna run far. Cause I know y'all always run far when it comes to this topic. Cause it's like y'all don't want to expose yourselves for the nature that you have of being a piece of shit. And that's it. Yeah, y'all don't want to expose yourselves. It's the same way y'all can't say y'all racist either, cause y'all don't want that trouble. But y'all definitely ain't gonna say y'all pedophile supporter either, huh? But it's kind of hard now to avoid the sentiment or avoid the questioning, cause it's just like that's the thing though, because the thing is Mac is gonna continue to try to portray this as a, oh, it doesn't matter. Bill Clinton is on there. Fuck Bill Clinton up too. Everybody on that list gets it. Everybody on that list gets it. It don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Everybody on that list gets it. You get put in jail. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's it. It don't matter what side you fall on. That's the one thing MAGA can't agree on. MAGA will just be quick to be like, oh, well, the Democrats got people. We, people, it don't matter. Say, I don't believe there's any proof in the emails. Please come up and explain. Please come up and explain. Have you seen all the emails? I gotta hear this. I need you to come up and explain yourself. I don't want you to. You must have listened to Caroline Levitt, huh? You listen to Caroline Levitt? That's what you listen to? Because you don't believe there's any proof in those emails. How do you not think there's no proof in those emails? Like, you gotta be crazy. You're not mega, but you don't think there's anything in there? Yeah, but like y'all believed when R. Kelly did it, y'all believed when P. Diddy did it, when anybody of color does it, y'all have no hesitation to believe anything that comes out. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Diddy came out. Shit, look at what happened with Bill Cosby. Y'all were all on Cosby quick. Y'all didn't even let him talk. Y'all didn't even let Bill Cosby give his side of it. Y'all just said he was guilty. But Donald Trump has come out with all this shit, and all of a sudden, y'all still don't believe it? Like, that's crazy to me that you don't see nothing in those files. And these are emails that were sent. And the thing is, it's the time period of the emails too. Because remember, he supposedly didn't talk with him.
Hello?
Hold on, let me see. Can I hear you?
What
Let's see
music
if
is
I
that?
pause my music. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're very low, but I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, I
Well,
can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
last night I
Hmm.
looked through a few of those emails and I didn't see
A
any real
few or
proof.
all?
I
Because
no one can read all of them. It's over 20,000. That's a lot of
that's what I'm
documents.
saying. So the ones maybe
Yeah.
you read, but the ones that they keep pointing out, you don't think there's nothing there that shows that he was complicit in something?
We're talking about proof, right?
Yeah.
Evidence, something that connects Trump to a crime. Proof
Hmm.
in the emails. I didn't see that in the emails so far, and I only read maybe about 8 of them.
So Jeffrey Epstein talking about having pictures of him with a underage kid in a bikini in the email. You don't see that as proof?
Where's the picture though?
We don't know. Epstein can still have them because remember, a lot of
Yeah,
the stuff that came out, the birthday card wasn't part of the stuff. That was stuff that came from the Epstein estate.
true.
So that's what I'm saying. If there's stuff that the Department of Justice has, that's why I think they're trying to hesitate releasing it. Because the thing is there's a lot of implications there that they may not have full proof for. But I believe there's a lot of implications that are there that they have proof for, and they're just trying to find a way to make it seem like it's not legit.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. But
You
I'm
you
just waiting
see,
for it. I'm
you see
waiting
what
for
I'm
the
saying?
smoking gun. I'm waiting for the smoking gun.
No, because
This back and forth between him and Maxwell is just conversations. I mean, just hearsay, basically. There's
but that's the
nothing that
thing.
I've seen so far that ties
The
him to a crime
the
in the email.
reason why I think it hasn't happened yet is because Ghislaine Maxwell hasn't been pardoned. And that's why I think this information just keeps coming out because it's coming out from the estate. The Epstein estate been around for a while. And
Hmm.
they weren't releasing none of this. But then Ghislaine Maxwell just happened to get moved to the lower facility. And then all of a sudden, the shit went quiet again. Before she got moved, shit started trickling out, and then it got quiet again when she got moved. Now she hasn't been pardoned, she's still there, and now more information started coming out. So it's just interesting to me because the thing is these emails are showing a lot of stuff that's there. The thing is that's why they're asking to release the rest of the Epstein files because maybe those photos that you asking for are the things they haven't shown because it is
Yeah,
incriminating.
that's what I'm waiting on.
Oh, yeah, so you just want the legit like pictures shown and everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
I want to
that,
see. I
that's
want to
that's
see it.
understandable. That's understandable. I understand that. That's understandable.
Yeah, I'm
I
not a MAGA. I'm not a Trump supporter. I voted for Harris. I live in Illinois. I just don't want it to be another situation. Um, probably shouldn't say this, where it's like similar to that P Diddy trial, and everyone thought that he was going to get convicted of RICO charges, but there was no RICO in the evidence that they presented.
Well, the thing is that's the thing that I find so difficult with these things, because these the thing is these are high profile people, and these high profile people got connections. So with Diddy, anybody else that gets caught with what he did would not only get 4 years. So that alone was a bit questionable when he only got 4 years for what he got charged with. Now the thing is you got to remember, Epstein was said to have tapes,
Right,
and Diddy had tapes.
right.
They didn't show none of those Diddy tapes in there, did they?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
Well,
See
other than the
you
video
see
from
what
the
I'm saying?
hotel,
Yeah, but that wasn't a Diddy party.
that wasn't a Diddy tape.
You see what I'm saying? So basically, that's what I'm saying. Is just like they're hiding the information, because the thing is Diddy was partying with the Trumps. Shit, he was partying with LeBron James. He was partying with a whole bunch of different people. And if those videos actually come out, there's going to be a lot of questions to be answered by a lot of people, and a lot of people that are seen in a lot of high places.
True.
So that's why I think it's just like it's there. They just don't want to show it. Because the thing is there's a lot of, because the main thing that got me thinking that all this is true and it's in there was the fact that the Prince of England lost his royalty titles. He's no longer Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
That's what led me to think, it was like, damn, the fucking King of England said, nah, bro, you way too deep in this shit. We don't even want anything to do with you anymore. Type that says a lot, because
Yeah, it
it's
says that
it's
they got
royal.
proof.
Well, that's the thing. The
My
thing is
boy, my
go
boy,
ahead.
just Andrew.
They
My
they
boy,
have
my
all that
boy,
stuff there. It was just
Andrew
like
Dominguez. What's his
there's a
last
lot of
name?
info. I forget his damn last
I'm gonna
name.
call him by his last name.
But that's the thing. A lot of these emails are coming out, and it's information, because this is just the emails. So the rest of the files haven't been shown. And then the thing is this was blackmail. That's why they've been saying that in some of these they have that. I think is one of the emails they pop out there saying that Putin has stuff on Trump also.
Yeah, I
From Epstein.
read something on Vegas's thing about something about somebody blowing somebody.
Yeah, Donald Trump, that Putin has videos of Trump giving somebody the Gok 3000 or some shit, and that's why he's holding back on Bubba, I guess. And the person that they called Bubba was Bill Clinton. That
Oh
that, that was the nickname that Bill
my!
Clinton went off of, Bubba. And that's known in a lot of places that Bill Clinton went by the name of Bubba.
I can
I'm
see that.
gonna I'm gonna pop me some
Because I've
popcorn.
always
Give me a
I've always
second.
had some thoughts that Donald Trump swung both ways.
Mm, I
I've
don't think
always
it's
had
both
that thought
ways.
process. I
I
think
don't
it was
think it's
both
both
ways. I
ways.
think him and Epstein were
I
Swingers.
don't
a
see,
bit,
but that's the
yeah,
thing.
a bit more than friendly.
I don't think it's both ways. I think he's gay, gay.
Oh,
The
you
thing
just think he's
is,
full on.
I'm sorry.
Tisha, you think Trump is gay gay?
Yeah, yeah. Listen, the lengths that a man that wants to hide
Oh, you right, girl.
their bullshit, the lengths that they will
You
go.
right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's just, it gotta be like he's built this whole thing off of being strong and tough and gay people are bad. He
That's
gotta
why I've
be
always
king
thought it,
gay,
because the
bro.
people that are always the ones bashing it, go against it, want to make all these laws against it, want to get rid of the LGBTQ plus community in the military, all this stuff. It was just like, bro, you have a problem with this that doesn't involve anything that you have to deal with, supposedly. And then
Cruz.
most of the time, every time you've seen any of these Republicans be that crazy about it, they always get caught somehow
Yep.
coming out, or they got caught on something, or they come say all them Diddy parties. I'm telling you, Diddy
The
had
Or
a lot of
grinder
people in
grinder.
those
breakdown.
parties. The
Yep,
Diddy
the
had a
grinder
lot of
breaking down.
celebrity in there. They had Grindr shutting down at the Republican National Conventions. All that stuff has been happening, and it's just like it becomes kind of questionable that it's just like I think because the thing is you got to look at it like this. Right now, a lot of MAGA supporters don't even care if he's a pedophile.
That's the
That's the
truth.
that's the crazy part. A lot of
Cruz, you
his
remember the PP tapes?
mm-hmm.
Yep.
It was just like a lot of
Did
his
y'all
supporters don't even care about it. But
did y'all hear
tell
about Megyn Kelly going like,
mm-hmm.
look, he wasn't technically a pedophile. Like he was
It was
going
like
after
a
like
15-year-old is different than a 5-year-old. I'm like, excuse me.
it's
I was
like,
just like, that's the thought process that
girl,
they had. But now go out and tell MAGA that he's gay. They'll lose their shit.
I heard a dude on a live last night say, what he say? He said, "What's wrong with sexually assaulting children?"
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
He
excuse
really wanted somebody to respond to that.
I
It's
see.
like, are
excuse
you
me.
fucking
Yeah. It
crazy?
was on Dean's
Yeah.
live. He had somebody up there and he just had somebody
Yeah.
asking. It was just like, what's actually wrong with it? And it was just like, these are the type of people
Look,
in the sentiment that a lot of his followers have. But
all
then
things
they
aside
drop,
with Dean,
but they
all things aside with Dean, the people they hop on his life are like ridiculous.
But that's the thing. I think that's why most of that shit is fake. I think a lot of those people that he has is just fake people that he has on there just for the views. Because if you have that thing, that kind of thought process, somebody would have outed you. You would have been found if you had that sort of thought process. Because most likely that person is a sex offender. There's no way that a person like that isn't a sex offender and hasn't been caught or isn't registered or something like that to have that kind of thought process. So that's why a lot of the times I think he just has, because it's just like you just happen to have the weirdest of the weirdest and the most MAGA of the MAGA that always show up on your lives. Like that's crazy. Like I've been going against MAGA for a while and I never find the MAGA of the MAGA. Like that's the MAGA boss right there to just be that crazy to be saying
Final
some shit
bag of
like
balls.
that. The final MAGA boss. Like talk
Right.
about you're gonna question the fact of what's the bad part about it. Like you done lost your fucking mind. I was just like, that's crazy. He just has it so that way. Because the thing is you gotta get tired. Like I'm sorry, I got tired of debating MAGA. Because the thing is they keep on coming with the same shit. So the only way he's gonna keep his popularity is if somebody comes with some off the rails type shit that they just be like, damn, that's crazy. I don't know if y'all agree with that, but that's how I feel about his shit no more. I don't
I
even
agree. I
follow him no
think a
more.
lot of it is trolling
Yeah,
at this point. It's trolling.
because there's no way. It was just like you didn't say none of these people came out before the election or anything. It's been 10 months, and you mean to tell me y'all coming up? This is what y'all coming up with? I was just like, now y'all trying to defend pedophiles, and y'all seen my lives before where I just call them out. Because I always said it. It was just like, hey, I just wanted a demonstration. If you were Republican or MAGA, I want you to answer. Are you okay with the age of 14 being the age of consent? Or do you condemn pedophiles? And they would get quiet as shit. They wouldn't
I
fucking answer.
forget fucking Utah did that shit, bro.
Yeah,
What?
it was just like people
They
don't understand that. Honestly, thinking about we're
they
on the
tried to
right
do it in
thing.
South Carolina too and Alabama,
Dean
What the well,
lowering
Dean
the age
Alabama's
to 14.
understandable, dude.
Dean and Parker been on the right side since the beginning. They're just fucking grifters. That's it. Like for a lot of these people, it's just like, look, they making so much money off of being intelligent, but knowing that they're basically like Charlie Kirk, but instead of talking all the nonsense that Charlie Kirk
There's
does,
smart
they
Charlie
just
Kirk, bro.
yeah, they're smart Charlie Kirk. That's what it is.
Without the
That's
racism.
without the racism. Because they
Yeah.
don't because they know if they use the racism, they're not gonna make the money. Because they're gonna alienate so many people. But if they know, it's just like, damn, look, I got these dumbass people that are MAGA that are not gonna listen to me and they're gonna argue with me regardless because they believe in it so much. And then all of a sudden, I'm gonna just side with the other side so I can get them to believe in me. And then when shit hits the fan, because remember when Kirk got shot, He was just like, hey, if I have to, I might go to the right side. He said that himself, and I was just like, bro, if you willing to turn to the right side, that means you were part of the right side from the get. You just needed something to happen to you for that to happen. It wasn't
Cruz,
that you
you ever
just.
seen the movie called Wag the Dog?
No, I have not. I have not.
It's a
You got
political movie, and
gotta
it's
see it.
Robert De Niro as the president, and so his words are falling. So they tell him, "Hey, why don't you stage a fake war and get shot?" So
Oh,
he create this whole fake war and him getting shot and all this to try to increase his poll numbers. It's a comedy. It's pretty funny.
Oh shit, I have not seen that. I have to. I'll look that
It's
up.
a old, it's an old movie. It's an oldie but goodie, but you should look at it. It's called Wag the Dog.
Wag the
That's the
dog.
second movie. The first one came out in, I think in
Oh, it's like a remake.
yeah, it's a remake.
Oh, damn. So they've been doing this for a while. They've been coming up with the
Yeah,
same shit. But it's just crazy. That's why it was just like a lot of these people. It was just like, cause that's what threw me off with him. It was just like when he started crying and shit when Charlie Kirk died. I was just like,
Well, how do
that,
y'all feel about Matt Gates? He didn't go to jail, but his partner did. And now this came out today about this little girl that was homeless that he actually brought her to a particular party and had sex with her twice since she was underage. And then he informed
oh,
everybody in the GOP house the particular day and showed all the pictures about this party.
Matt Gates?
yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing is that was already known. The problem that I had with Matt Gates was that was the person that they were trying to make the attorney general.
But his partner did, and he was. And but see, here's the thing: his
No,
partner
Matt Gates was for defense,
his
dude.
partner should have been
No,
charged with sex trafficking, and he wasn't. But they want to
you
charge Diddy with it.
wasn't
'Cause
he sending no money through Venmo and Cash App?
I forget
that
that.
was Matt Gates was the one that was going for attorney general. He was supposed to be in Pam Bondi's spot.
Yeah,
But then this came out
Oh,
that he was being because he was in under investigation before anything
right.
had happened, before he had even gotten nominated. The thing was that Donald Trump, being a pedophile himself, basically wanted another pedophile to be the attorney general.
ugh.
Because basically he ain't have no problem with 17-year-olds or underage people. So he was just like, well, this is one person that I know if I get in trouble
I
will help
forget
defend me.
after they were
Yeah,
used.
but I understand Matt. I understand Matt Gates, but like, what is up with Pam Bondi's dick riding? Because is she a
The thing
pedophile
is
too?
Pam Bondi was part of the whole thing. All of these people are connected because she was in
Mm.
Donald Trump's fucking beauty pageants.
Yeah, I seen a picture of her with Trump when
Oh,
she was like 17.
She
Yeah,
was
Pam
in the beauty
Bondi.
pageants
Yeah,
from beginning. The same
she's
thing with
known Trump
Caroline
for a
Levitt.
while.
The same thing
they
with
all look.
Caroline Levitt. They were both in those beauty pageants.
oh,
And then he probably
damn.
just
So
got
Donald
groomed from
Trump put
there.
Caroline Levitt with her husband,
We
Hmm.
have
My
a
bad, Cruz. I thought
the
that
real estate
I
dude.
thought that Hegseth was the replacement for Gates.
No. Hegseth was just the defense secretary. They had him there, but that dude was a piece of shit regardless. But Gates was there and they nominated him. But then the Democratic people were just like, we don't want this dude because this dude was under investigation for being with an underage girl. Then the whole point of it was that people wanted them to release those files because the problem with Congress is that in Congress, a lot of these people get investigated for this shit, but it doesn't come out. So with
that
Matt
has
Mm.
Gates, the fact that he was going to try to be the attorney general, people knew about that and they was like, fuck that shit, because some of these people actually have some fucking standards and morals. But then everybody else was just like the Republicans that were okay with nominating him and putting him there basically wanted to disregard the fact that he got investigated for doing that.
Yeah, they knew Matt was slime.
They knew that
Yeah,
from
they
the
knew he
get.
was straight slime. They was like, nah, we ain't gonna let that one fly.
And then these people were just like, nah, it was just like this dude was already being investigated for this shit. And then y'all was trying to add him and put him as attorney general. It was like, fuck that. With Pam Bondi, the big difference was Pam Bondi doesn't have anything negative on her record like that. She was part of the district of attorney while Epstein got that sweetheart deal, but that's about it. She didn't have any incriminating like court cases or investigations that were under her for her to be like kicked out. Same thing with Caroline Levitt. She didn't have nothing negative, just that she was dating a dude that was like 60 years old when she was like 20, which that wasn't weird, of course. And I was just like, no, it was like yeah, she knew about it, but that's the thing. They were just trying to play that off. But with Gates, it was just like they knew about him doing that, and then people want to just like, hey, if y'all keep this guy nominated, we want the files to come out. And then people were just like, nah, we don't want to do that. And then next thing you know, the dude just resigned his position. Because then since he
Yo,
resigned the position, they wouldn't have to release it because he was no longer in Congress. That's
every
that's
time
the
that I
bullshit that they
remember,
tried there.
every time that I remember the age gap between Caroline Levitt and her husband, bro, a little bit of thought comes out of my throat, bro. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
that was another grooming right there too. That was just probably Trump groomed her
Bro,
through the beauty pageant and just sent her off. It
No,
was just like
she's
get your
that's
butt in
what.
the
she's
shower, boy.
making love, bro. She's making love
No,
to the
no,
fucking industrial revolution, bro. What's going
no.
on?
Get in the shower.
She's going to bed
What?
with the discovery of America. What's happening, bro?
Bro, that's the thing. I was just like, man, that's why I was just like, you see that MAGA ain't even coming in here tonight because they ain't even got shit to say. I was like, they didn't really have sex. They probably had like that in virtual fertilization shit. I was like, she ain't gonna be, if she was getting some, she would not be that angry.
That should probably got
that
some
lady,
dust from the Declaration of Independence and everything. What,
that
bro? What
lady
the
mad as
hell?
hell. That lady mad as hell for no damn reason. I was like, and that's probably it. She said,
Caroline,
"Oh
that's
my
so
god."
crazy, bro. I'm so
It's the
sorry,
truth though.
girl.
It's
Like,
the
how does your
truth.
husband smell like a fucking Model T? That's
I'm telling you, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy to have it that way. It was just like, nah, it's just like
he's 60, right? 60 years
he's
ago.
damn near
What happened
70
60 years
almost.
ago?
He's close to 70. What's up,
What happened 70 years ago?
Bomb Biggity? That's
Bomb
a cool.
Biggity, Bomb Biggity, what's happening?
What up, man?
Who did we bomb 70 years ago? Because he's seen that.
The question is, who haven't we? That's a better that's a better question. Shit.
Well, he's seen all of them.
But it's
That's
just like
crazy.
that's why I was just like she just had the kid too. I was like, they ain't, that was like
Man,
in
you just
vitro
put a
fertilization or
legacy.
some
No,
shit.
she was just,
Nah, because
he
it
needed
was just like
some.
she was being groomed into that. Because it's just like, why would you be interacting with somebody at that age, in that age difference?
Bro,
And I was like,
and
all
there's
these
no way
people were
to.
in his talent agency. All these people were in his beauty pageant. All these people have a connection somehow to Donald Trump
Because I know people
before
will
he
be
was
like,
small.
oh, I just love older guys.
Nah, bro, you like the money. Fuck out of here with that
Nah,
bullshit.
bro.
He had money. That
Nah,
dude had
bro.
money. That dude had money. He
I
always
like
had
old
money.
cars, but we get up to a certain point, you know?
So you mean to tell me if some sugar mama came up to you and she was like 70 and she was like, I'll take care of you for the rest of your life, you
No,
wouldn't do it? Damn,
no.
Saga. You're a better man than me. I feel like I'm getting them checks.
And I don't have no interest in tasting the Pirates of the Caribbean, bro. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. I'm
My man
good.
said, with this economy, I'm just like, because that's the thing. It's just like you got to start questioning the stuff that's going on. Because that's like I said, most of his, and that's why I say most of MAGA right now has no problem with him being a pedophile or with all the allegations. They haven't
Yeah,
had any
precisely.
problems with any of
So
the
so if I
sexual
tap into a
allegations he
sugar
had.
mama, I'd be no better.
He said no superstar.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
but that's the thing. That's what
I'd be
that's the
Carolining
issue
it
right
up. I
now.
don't want to do that.
MAGA has no problem with that because they be look. MAGA's the same people that be dating their cousins and shit. So
Yeah. Hey, bro,
Jesus Christ! Imagine Caroline Levitt as a role model, bro. Fuck.
look
not
at
trying to
look
cut
at.
Remember,
nobody off, but
girls,
Go ahead, man.
you're gonna be successful.
not trying to cut nobody off, but bro, thank you for bringing me up. Like this, just only like my third time uh, coming into a live and talking on Twitter. I mean, whatever this is, TikTok. Yeah, but so you know, I found the conversation very, very interesting because everything I'm hearing between the whole panel is facts.
That's
Like,
all we do here, man. That's all
like
I
we
do
ain't,
here.
yeah, like
Here's
bros, like we ain't talking about nothing that ain't have that don't have no relevancy. Everything is relevant. What we talking about. So I just want to say this, and then I'm gonna back up for a little minute. But like I say, second, I mean, first of all, I appreciate you bringing me up. But what we're talking about now, it's been going on since the Europeans ever had control over anything.
Yeah.
This is what they do. This is in their nature. This is their culture. Like people say they have no culture. Yeah, their culture is pillaging, pew pewing, uh, doing damage to the world. Like they do damage to the world, and the world has to fix. The world has to come behind them and fix it. It's just in their genes. This is what they do. This is who they are. And unfortunately, we wasn't smart enough or didn't have enough voters to not let that happen here. But now it's like what they say, the emperor, his clothes are down, so he's showing everything. So now you seeing everything.
It I think it's a lot of it is just the fact that a lot of people just don't have that history taught to them anymore. Cause for one thing, I just realized because this just popped into my head. You notice how after all these talks and all this stuff, nobody ever talks about colonialism anymore.
Right? Right?
Nobody ever talks about colonialism anymore. And that's literally the starting ground for basically these sex
What we're seeing.
trafficking things that they do. That's basically
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It started with colonialism, but people don't
Yeah.
want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that part of history. That's why they want to whitewash the history so that they don't make those parts sound bad. Because then now my head is starting to ram my shit. My shit is spinning right now.
Well, that's what they mean by make America great again. It's not just about, trying to go back to some mythical past that they think is existing because they don't even know what the past is. They just don't want to accept what America is built on. They don't want to wrestle with the realities of how we got to where we got. And the other guy, the new guy, I ain't never heard of before. Bombi? What does it
Yeah,
say?
this is
Listen, man, I understand that you have this inclination, a lot of people on the left do, to want to extend grace to these people and say, well, maybe they didn't know what they voted for, or maybe they didn't quite understand it. Don't do that, man.
they knew
To
what they
these
was doing.
people, MAGA is aspirational. You got to understand that when they're talking about the pedophiles and shit, the only part they have a problem with is they wish they could get away with this shit.
Yeah.
They go and they vote for someone like Trump because they're saying, I hope that one day when I have the power and I have the money and I have the influence, and I'm hoping I can get there based on creating a segregation between white and black and male and woman and cis and trans and all the other things. Like if I'm in league with these powerful Trump type people, then one day I'll be able to commit these crimes and I can get away with them too. That's their aspiration. That's their dream. These people are fucking demons, and talk to them as such.
And may I add to that? Before the election, I knew people that I would ask them why would you vote for him? And they would tell me X and Y, and then I would tell them oh, but he's
Because
done
they want to
this, and
fuck
then
kids, man. Like,
no,
let's
check it
not
out,
complicate this.
check it out. They'd be like, oh, I'd be like, why? But he's done this, and that, X, Y, and Z, and I'd show them the proof and all this sort of stuff, and they'd be like, they would literally be like, I don't care what he's done or whatever it is, as long as he puts money in my pocket. That's something we got to talk about.
But that's not even true either. They knew he wasn't going to put money in their pocket. They don't care. They don't care if they get
just wanted to
harmed,
get
as
away
long
with
as it
'cause
harms black people, gay people,
But then it
children
was also the
more.
racism that came out too. That's the thing, because they were allowed to be a
Mm.
bit more racist. It wasn't that there was money that was going to be put into their pocket. It was just like, well, I guess you can say that money was going to be put into their pocket because they knew the racism and the stuff that was going to happen was going to primarily affect those minorities instead of them. The
Absolutely.
actuality was that they actually got fucking hit with the same shit that those minorities did because they're poor also, and they weren't giving a fuck about also. They just thought it was going to be better for them financially because it's like, hey, if I know these minorities ain't going to be able to get those jobs, I'm going to get paid more. When actuality, these corporations ain't going to pay nobody, no matter who the fuck you are. But they just took it as, hey, I made more money. That's why a lot of them be bullshitting, talking about, oh, I made more money during the Trump administration than the Biden administration. I was like, how the fuck you do that when you had the same fucking tax rates? This shit didn't fucking change. So what? You just became stupid when a Democrat came over? No, that's not how it fucking happened. It was just like you made
Right.
the same fucking money, but you just had the ability to be a bit bolder with your racism and your stereotyping and your discrimination because of the fact that Donald Trump made y'all be loud. But then when y'all started getting canceled because y'all kept on doing it during the Biden administration, y'all got quiet as shit. Now he won again, and then they started getting loud again. That's the
Well, that's
only thing.
why.
They thought they were gonna benefit from it.
But that's why it's important to take the things Cruz is saying right now and walk it to the next logical step. These people were cool when it was trans people getting shot up into bars because of hatred against them, and the synagogues getting shot up, and the school getting shot up. They were okay with people getting kidnapped in the streets because they were brown, and getting mass people throwing them in unmarked vans and driving off, ripping children out of their mother's arms, listening to them children wail. They enjoyed it. They got their little tiny little peepees got hard watching that. And they didn't start having a problem with what's going on today until they said, wait a minute, now I'm losing my farm. Now my meat's too fucking expensive. This wasn't supposed to affect me.
Yeah.
As long as it was affecting everybody else, it was fucking everybody else over. They were cool with it. And the second that anything gets remedied or changed or fixed to where it's not affecting them anymore, guess what? They're gonna go right back to supporting that shit.
Yep.
So don't put out no olive branch for these people. Don't call for them to come join your time. Don't move to their position. They either are gonna want to come to us and have some kind of seek our forgiveness, or they can fuck straight the fuck off in this
Well,
dustbin of
bro,
history.
well,
Crush these
bro,
fucking people.
well, bro, let me say this too. And I hear how you say, about they need to ask for forgiveness if they come or when they come or whatever. But we have to understand this. We have to go way back to where it started from. We can't exclude the YT women either. Like nobody talks about them. But I'm from Mississippi originally. I live in Vegas. I've been here 22 years. I was born and raised in Mississippi. And South Mississippi. So I saw it. I heard things, when kids wasn't supposed to be listening, when the grandparents kicked us out and told us, get your butt in the room, we listened through the walls. But I had uncles and I had grandparents and that used to tell stories about how not only was the black women RAP, but the boys were too, by the women. So when the slave master would leave on a horse and it would take him a day or two to go do what he had to do at another plantation, then these white women would have their way with some folks with some little boys, 14, 15-year-old boys that they had been looking at for a long time. So we've been abused and mistreated for so long, and things have been taught, things have been lost. But one thing that we could say that everybody should agree on in this panel, and not only in this panel, outside this panel. And I hate to say it, you can't trust them, bro. The Indians told us that. The Indians told us that.
It's I can't say that I can't trust them because they all aren't the same. They all didn't get raised the same. The thing is in like certain areas in an area like Mississippi is different because the thing is like in the South that sentiment is still there because you know the Confederacy was still the Confederacy. They didn't get their ass whooped. They didn't get their ass beaten. They didn't get their ass ridiculed. They just let them slide and be like, yeah, you can still have your shit after you tried to fucking break away. People in the North weren't having it because you have some of them that were abolitionists. There were some that was trying to help. So the thing is you can't say you can't trust all of them. The thing is you have to look at the upbringing and the area that they're in. Because the thing is the ones from the South, yeah, I ain't trusting them.
Right.
From the South, I'm just not. If you from up north or something and thing, you can still be the same way up north, but the same sentiment and the same thought process isn't the same because throughout the generations in the North, they accepted black people.
Okay,
that,
well,
it was just like in some place, like I said, it was good.
Yeah, no, my question is for you then, on a bigger stage, think about the bigger stage. Think about, okay, just say for instance, think about if something happens and you're on a bigger stage, like as far as a revolution. Okay, how do you trust? Because if you're from up north, you'll say, no, everybody's not bad. He's okay. I've been knowing this family for a while, but now you just put a mole into the system when we trying to fight the system. You know what I'm saying? So how do you, and I'm asking you this as a question, like me as my experiences, I would not trust none of them. But with your experiences, you say all not bad. And I know all people are not bad, but in order to get to where we're trying to get, do you trust the ones that people say that you can trust and then they may end up being a mole? Or do you just be steadfast?
The reason I say it that way is because it be your own people.
Yep, you're right. You're right about that. Fred Hampton.
I mean,
that's all I gotta say to that. That's all. I can't say that I can't trust here and I can't trust there. Sometimes it be your own people that be screwing you over. So it's just like I can't say it was just like, nah, I can't trust this dude, but it'd be my own person that screwed me over and ratted me out. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I have the thought process of that way. That not everybody's the same, because sometimes you can have people that are there to help and sometimes not. And then sometimes it just depending on the position people get into. Because the thing is some people may get caught in the jam and be like, hey man, hey mom, if you don't do this, you're gonna end up in jail, or we gonna take your family and stuff like that. It was just like me being in the military. You seen that shit happen overseas, where people just to get information on us, or if they knew that they worked with the United States government or the military, they would try to take their families or try to like ransom their families or do stuff like that. So when you see it that way, it's just like it could be anybody. It can literally be anybody. But the thing is with certain people, you start saying certain things because you can only do certain things and want to do certain things if you really about that change.
Real talk. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
No problem, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, beyond that, man, it was like, I understand. Look, I shouldn't say I can understand. I can never understand the animus that black people feel in this country because I haven't ever walked in those shoes and experienced that myself. But just from a historical perspective, I don't think it's a wise idea to engage in any form of racial essentialism, just from a moral perspective. But also, if you're black in this country, historically speaking, that has always been harmful to black people. You are a minority in terms of number, in terms of power, in terms of representation, in terms of economic mobility. It's always been that way by design and by structure. So when you start talking about don't trust these people, let's separate, those things have always been harmful because you are removing any chances of aggregation
Well, actually, we were
from your
doing just fine,
community.
man, when we were
Well,
segregated.
you
To be
say
honest,
just fine, but
we were
like
doing
compare
just
that to
fine,
the
man.
wealth
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
built in the
Until they
white
come
community.
bomb your
Like,
community. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
come
but
bomb your
that's
community.
that's the
but it's
thing,
not
Josh. So
comparable,
if
man.
that, well, it's not comparable because it never allowed to get comparable. That was the
Absolutely,
thing.
that's right. That's
But
right.
that's the thing. But you can't also. That's what I'm saying. That you can't say that it's just everybody doing it because somebody gave information. Somebody snitched. Somebody was in your information that gave you the information. When it was like you said, Fred Hampton, same thing happened. It'd be your own people. It was just like you were concerned about the enemy outside, and it was the enemy within that caused you to lose everything you move forward with. So the thing is you have to plan for that because the thing is it's like if we do go into a revolution or something, you have to have contingency plans. It's not like you have to think. Well, that's me how I think anyway. It's just contingency plans because it's just like yeah, we gonna go this way about this way, but what happens if this shit don't go right? All right, we gonna take Sagi gonna take over. Sagi gonna be in charge. If something happened to me, Sagi take over. If something happened to Sagi, Joshua take over. But we still have the same momentum. And then it's just like, but then it's just like, can I trust Sagi? Well, Sagi been with me since day one doing this stuff. It was just like these brand new people. That's why it's always like joining a fraternity or something. You got to go through the process to show that you actually gonna be part of the fraternity. And it's the same thing
But
that
who
we
we
have to do to
showing?
make sure to move forward. Because the
But who
thing
we
is
trying to show, and who we showing? Like,
well, the thing is to show the rest of the community. Because you got to show other minorities that it can be done. That's the problem with the biggest problem that I notice with the minority community is that they don't understand each other and they don't communicate with each other because they always think they're against each other. That's the biggest thing. Everybody's always trying to one up the next person instead of
But they
actually working
are.
together with it. Yeah, but that's
They
the thing.
are.
You can
White
one up
people created
everybody.
that,
Yeah, but you can
right?
but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You got to educate people on that. That yes, you can still one up somebody, but you can still work with them while you're one upping it, and not make it as a selfish thing or a condescending thing to try to basically one up them while you're doing it. And then that's the mentality that needs to spread throughout the community. Because in the hood, it was just like, oh, you got this drug dealer on that corner, you got this drug dealer on that corner. If they both work together, they might make more money. But what do they think? Nah, that's my ops. That's my competition. Look at the stupidity of fucking gang violence of just, I wear blue or I wear red.
well, you know what? Me myself, I feel like that. Everything you said was true, but I feel like if you put it in this perspective, for me, is where my sense is at. Until we all figure out as a collective that it's not about black or white, but it's about the top and the bottom, then we always going to be fighting, and blacks going to still have to protect themselves, and everybody else going to have to do the same.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Precisely, like because the fight is top and bottom. Like
Yeah, amen.
But
it's
that's the
always been
thing.
top and bottom.
A lot of people don't ever see that part. That's the thing.
So
Most people get stuck on the same thing because they don't see outside their environment. That's the
okay,
biggest
but
problem we have because it's just like even for these white MAGA people, they got a problem with people in New York and California because they see all the shit they have because they've never experienced anything outside of their fucking environment. The same thing with people in the hood. They've never seen what it is to live in the suburbs, how it is that you don't have to worry about what color you wear or something like that. That gets grown into people and it just keeps on going through the generation because nobody puts a stop to it. You go to
true,
Compton, it's still the same nonsense of
true,
blue and red.
true,
They've been doing
true.
this shit for how many decades?
But look, think about it as a sphere. Think about it as a circle. How do we turn that circle instead of the color spectrum? How do we turn that spectrum from color and spin that spectrum on a 360, whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise, however you want to spin it, but to get it to where everyone understands it's not the colors top and bottom. That's
Well, the answer to your question is dialectical materialism, and that's the reason why they may have made communism, socialism, Marxism, boogeyman in this country for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the understanding that I have a lot more in common with the black, gay, trans, uh, homeless, immigrant janitor at a high school that I do with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Even though,
Yeah.
me and Donald Trump have all the same intersectional categories in common,
Right.
there's one that I'm missing, and that's billionaire. And that one is the most important one from a materialistic standpoint. I
Hey,
don't
can I
have the
jump in and say
resources he
something?
has. Sure.
Go
First
ahead,
and
Moment.
foremost, I appreciate you guys letting me on the show. I was going through and listening to a lot of different feeds and everything, and I found you guys' conversation more relatable. And I thank you for having me on. I would like to say it's like this. My man was talking about, it's better to be segregated and those types of things, and blaming things on this race of people or that race of people, as far as like white women and the power aspect, as far as like their inability to really fight for what they claim that they believe in, as far as like family structure, and have more of an empathy mind or heart set. Okay. I don't know if my words are coming up very clearly. Let me slow down. You can't separate yourselves because, quite frankly, as you, Mr. Moderator, have already stated, we do need one another. And to separate ourselves is to separate ourselves from being able to educate those who don't have those types of experiences that you may have, I may have, my man who's from Mississippi may have, right? And be able to share those experiences so that there could be a good conversation that's ongoing, right? As I see things, and I'm a black man. I live in the state of Ohio. I was raised on both sides of the tracks, as far as like raised in a predominantly white community, but in a small section of that community there was a decent sized black population, but it was a population in a community that had a certain amount of wealth, right? Like nobody was poor, nobody was, and this is back in the 80s and the early 90s, right? Nobody was poor in the community. So you had people that were like blue collar all the way up to people that owned businesses, doctors, attorneys, whatever the case may be, both black and white. So it's a very unique situation. The point that I'm getting to is that there's so many people out there that really want to know people like us, right? Black folks who are not judgmental about white people and what they've done to us as a collective past, right? The perspective that I've come to understand is that there's just so many people out there that grew up in communities, rural America, that never seen black folks, never experienced us or anything like that, whether it be on TV, movies, music, sports fields, entertainment as a whole. Okay. And that's really and truthfully a wonderful thing in order for us to put who we are as a collective, as a people, right? And to be understood, for us to have wealth gain or accomplishment in this country, we do need them, right? But not to rely upon them solely, right? Like, yeah, you have, for example, white women that definitely like black men. We know that. We see that all the time. And they are some of the biggest, proponents for black culture and white culture to get together, because you cannot deny who you like, what you're attracted to. Hell, I've had white women that were of MAGA. And I'm not talking about like that hardcore MAGA, this, that, and the other, just, more Republican that voted for Donald Trump, right? Who are attracted to black men. They just don't understand, because they still have to break away from the psychology that they were raised up under from mom and dad, who were just traditional Republicans. You know what I mean? So we separate ourselves. I'm just using this one part of my experiences and whatnot to debunk that idea, to separate ourselves from that. We're actually separating ourselves from a whole group of people all right, no matter how large or how small it is, that can actually help. What we're looking for, whether it be black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it does not matter, is those that have empathetic hearts that represent or that understand that, what is going on in today's society and or what has happened in yesterday's society, right? Which is today's society is a continuation of yesterday's society as we know and understand and recognize, right? There's got to be a break. There has to be a psychological break from the old mindset of a white woman to say, well, I'm going to marry this guy because he is white. I'm going to make my family happy. And there's been so many that have done that and been abused psychologically, right? Physically, in the bedroom, being raped or just being controlled around the household and just treated with no respect, right? And they're just like, you know what, man, fuck this. I've given my one to society. Now I'm on to, that which I grew up on and watching at MTV in a time period where the biggest stars were all black stars, right? The rap music was exploding on the scene, right? You had Michael Jackson, you had Eddie Murphy, you had Bobby Brown, you had New Edition. I mean, we could go on and on. Prince, right? I mean, if you look at the most famous people of those eras, right? They were black singers, black actors, black athletes, black entertainers, right? And it's like, okay, I've done this to society, and look at how these people have fun. Look at how these people celebrate each other. Look at how I've had white women say to me in the past when I was on college campuses, like, you know what is amazing to me is that like every time you walk by another black guy, you guys always nod your head at each other, even though you don't know each other. You know what I mean? They want to have. That's why you see so many TikToks and so many different forums, right? Of white folks just happy to, quote unquote, come to the barbecue, right? Why you see, white folks, whether they be, the gingers and whatnot, right? Or the thick community of white girls are now, they're just happy to be considered like, my goodness, like I can, I'm not that I'm black now, but I'm being appreciated by somebody or a culture and group of people that I was never exposed to because I was hidden from that. And they appreciate me way more than the community that I was raised in. My mother is from my man that's from Mississippi.
Well, can I ask you a question right quick, man? Are you from the north?
I'm from up north, yes. But this is why
I kind of get that from what the things you're saying, man. Like, there's a thing here that you got to kind of understand with what you're talking about. Because, like, because, like, I grew up in New York as well. So Cruz understands this, that I am into Boricua, man, Puerto Rican women, light-skinned black women,
hey, man,
Italian women.
We into all women.
Like, but that's because that's what I grew up around. I saw that as normal.
Sure.
You talk about the 80s and 90s, right? I remember everyone was going goo-goo, Saved by the Bell, Kelly Kapowski, that's the one. Oh, but Jessie, she's taller, she's this and that. I'm sitting there watching it like, fuck y'all talking about? Lisa's the one.
Yes,
like, Lisa's the one that can get it.
Yes.
But see, I grew up in a culture where that's normalized in the North.
That's the thing. Yeah.
But now when you are talking to my man that's from Mississippi, that's in the chat there, he has a completely different relationship with white women that want to tokenize black men, that want to date them to piss off their racist daddy, that want to seem like it's, it's cool to their friends, like, oh, I got me a Mandingo man. Like, it is inherently racist what they're doing. That is not the same as how we experience interracial relationships up north.
Well, let me ask you this question. Does a white woman have to be from up north in order to really be, if a woman lays down and spreads her legs for a man, okay, willingly, I don't care if she's from the Nordic, Miami, Mississippi, California, whatever, she's down. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's down.
That's the thing.
But some of them folks that you talk about call 304s, though. On my side of town, they call 304.
It's depending on the mentality is different, because the thing is like I grew up in New York City. I got
Mm-hmm.
stationed at Fort Riley. And it
Mm-hmm.
was just like I'm still back. I'm back in Kansas because it's just like I could do more with what I had than I did in New York City. But it's just like people still look at you funny. You still do have women that do get attracted to you because it's just like you're that exotic that they don't see. Like you said, it's
Right.
that like you see it on TV, but it's just, oh, this person exotic. I've never seen
Yeah.
a person like this. But then there's people that look at you still in disgust, like, oh, what is he doing here? And stuff like
100%.
that. But it's just like it's difficult to you can't differentiate it. And the thing is for me, you just gotta stay who you are no matter what it is, no matter what your environment is. It was just like you're gonna attract people that are willing to have that environment with you. So if you do find women that are attracted to you, it's because they are attracted, and it's most of the time it's not for just a negative thing. Sometimes it can be if that's the only area they are in, but it's just like it's a different way because the thing is you can't alienate any. I don't believe in alienating any group because like I said, growing up in New York City, I grew up with everybody. I know people from all over the world.
Right.
That was a daily thing. You got on the subway, you saw anybody from anywhere, people dressing up as frogs, people walking like you see the wildest shit in New York City. So it's just like me, it
I'm not
wasn't
gonna lie, I'm jealous of that.
no, bro. It's just
see-
like you jump on
see,
the
my
train,
thing-
you can watch whatever. But the thing is the thought process is different because the thing is in New York City, we grow up
True.
thinking we don't give a fuck about what you're doing. I got to do what I
Exactly.
got to do. But in
Mine
other
is
places, it's just like,
and
why
I'm in
does he look
Cleveland.
like that?
I'm in
True.
Cleveland, Ohio, right?
Yeah,
A very
so
ethnic
you got
city, right? So I get all that, but what I was gonna, when I was addressing my man from Mississippi, I was gonna let him know that my people's from Moss Point, Mississippi.
Oh yeah. I know
Pascagoula.
Moss Point very well.
Yeah, 20, 25 miles outside of Biloxi, an hour, 10 minutes down the
Yeah.
coastline from New Orleans.
Yes,
You know
I'm
what
from
I mean?
Hattiesburg. I'm from,
Yeah, okay, so
I'm from
I got
Hattiesburg.
my mother met my father at Kentucky State University. My father's from Cleveland. My mother's from Moss Point. You see what I'm saying? I got family that went to all HBCUs. Live all up and down. The Gulf Coast and that region of America, right?
Yeah.
And my point is, yes, I know what you're saying when you're talking about white folks, because the beautiful thing about white people down there, if they don't like you, you can
They
tell,
gonna let you know.
feel it, they gonna let you know, right?
Amen.
But the most amazing thing, and my man, you down there in Moss Point, or in that area, Hattiesburg, right? I know you've seen black folks and white folks together. I know you've seen interracial
Yes, sir.
relationships.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So, and they're if there's white people willing to do that under most extreme circumstances, right? It's not about
Yeah.
the race of the person. It's about, does this person have an
True.
empathetic heart, the
True, brother.
understanding of what, you know what I mean? And
True, brother. But listen,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
not trying to cut you off, but
No, I wanna hear what you gotta
before I
say.
lose my thought,
Mhm.
I understand that,
Mhm.
and trust me being from down there, I understand it all.
Mhm.
My thing is, in the bigger fight, what the position that we're in now, the state that we're in now, how do we fight it? Like, do you fight it by being like, we always know as a culture, we accept everything. We accept everything, everybody. That's just what it is, because we're loving people. And they spin it. CNN, they spin it. They post when a black club gets shot up or whatever, and this other club might have been over there, and 4 people might have overdosed on fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? And you'll never hear about that. Or so they spin it to make us look like the bad guy. In which this is nothing that I'm just saying.
I understand what you're coming from.
But I may not see your side
Mhm.
at this point in this conversation, but I've been hearing some things that have been making me understand, other folks. But what I'm saying, in this fight, where we at now, as a country, as a people, how do we proceed? Do we just keep the doors open like we normally do as a culture? Or do we somehow close ranks and start vetting and start saying, because this is not getting no better. This is all going right back to where it was in the 50s and the 60s. And I'm a 70s baby. I was born in 74. My mom was born in 58. My dad was born in 48. I saw things that you guys would never, ever imagine before cameras, before the news broadcasting what's going on. I saw it. Mm-hmm. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. You haven't seen none of this, but now you're seeing it. But you're seeing it because of technology.
Mm-hmm. That's
These
what
are
BLM was, right? George Floyd, right?
Well,
there are a whole lot of people that are living in some bullshit town in Iowa that, you know, they've been told, oh, yeah, you know, police in the large cities are racist. Maybe they are, but, you know, black people also, they commit more crimes, 1350, blah, blah, blah. They've been told all that. And then it was when they actually saw the raw, visceral footage of this man getting choked out for 9 minutes, 40. They said, oh, shit. What if that was someone in my family that happened to?
But that was just a one-off. That was just a one-off,
I understand it happens
bro.
all the time, but, like, it's different to just hear about it.
Right.
And then to watch it viscerally
But
happen.
I'm
and this
telling
man's
you
crying
about
for
it.
his mama.
No, but yeah, I understand.
I'm telling you about it.
Moment what he's trying to say basically is like it's different because the thing is with a lot of people, the visual aspect is what changes it. Because the thing is I heard about Martin Luther King. I heard about his speech. I heard about his marches. I heard about Rosa Parks. But then when you actually see the footage of people getting dragged out, having the dogs thrown on them, having the water sprayed on them, it's a different mentality that a person thinks. Because the thing is
Fire
it's a
hydrants
story.
is nothing compared to what.
I know, but that's the thing. The thing is they don't want to talk about that because they don't want to expose people to that. Because shit, remember in Philly they dropped a bomb on the damn building. But they don't talk about that much. But then when you actually look at the story and you see that it was just a building it wasn't even like it was a standalone building. It was a community and they just dropped a bomb on it because this one group of people they didn't want to get out. So it's just like when you start seeing the visual aspect, I think is the biggest thing that the community doesn't inherently see, because the thing is that doesn't get publicized. Because most of the time you see anything in any minority community, we doing something good. We either creating something, developing something, helping with one thing or helping one another, but you'll never see that on the news. Because they want to make it that way. They want to make sure that you get that exposure.
Now we are seeing.
Yeah, because it's happening live.
We're physically seeing it now.
It's happening right
the things
before
that I'm
your eyes,
talking
real
about,
time.
or the things that my brother that's talking to me, and I don't know if he's a white brother, but he's a brother for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because he on the same side. I know he a brother for sure.
Yeah,
I would never second
black,
guess that.
But
the things that I'm vaguely starting to get into, these are things that I know that a lot of people are just starting. The veil has just starting to come off.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it, because hold that thought real quickly, because I got to say this. See, what's going on in this country, it's not now, check this out now, what I'm about to say. It's not about black people, just black people. We're not
true.
We're not the leaders of woke. We already been woke.
Right.
Woke is about white people finding out and seeing the truth and experience it, and now they're doing the homework and they're connecting the dots. And the ones with empathetic hearts who've been lied to and this, that, and the other are waking up. That's why you think
they want to whitewash all the history. That's why.
So that was my question. That was my question at the beginning. Like, if we don't control the media, we never have. Nobody ever seen it. Only the people that experienced it seen it. And we still don't see it now, because if you see, they steadily take over the media and this and that. They spin it. how do we get to the point to where we take that oracle, that circle, and spin it to where it's cool? Because if you can't spin that oracle, then you got to get to where you're at. You got to get over here. These got to get over here. These got to get over here. These got to get over here for everybody's personal experience.
I think what needs to happen is we need
It's
people
gonna
like
happen.
we need people like you.
It's
We
gonna
need
happen,
people
bro.
like you to make videos. We need people like you to talk about it. And then we need
Yeah.
other people that experience the same thing you did to keep talking about it. Because that's the thing. A lot of these things, like me, New York City, I was just like me. My first part of racism that I ever experienced was when I joined the military and I came here to Kansas. That was the first time I experienced racism. I just thought it was a movie thing because, you know, that's what they teach you. Racism isn't, oh, that just happened in the 60s type shit. And then I came over here and I was like, oh, shit. I was like,
It's
so
like
this
African
is what,
students that come
it
over
was
to
just
the
like,
But you
and
know
it's
what?
just like, but nobody
not trying to cut you off,
had
not
those
trying to cut you off,
stories. You got to
Curator.
have these stories and tell these people everything.
Not
So the
trying to cut
people
you off,
outside of your
Curator.
community, you got to do that.
Not trying to cut you off, Curator. I appreciate you. Thanks for bringing me up and let me share, because I'm hoping that what I say will kind of share a little bit of light on what's happening. It's not the small experiences of racism. It's not the experiencing your uncle that gets 30 years for the same thing somebody else get 6 months probation for.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
understand
You
a
talking about that
small
boy in
town
Oklahoma?
that
I don't know if you heard about that
your
shit.
uncle or your cousin got killed in, and in the north they say it don't happen or it didn't happen or whatever. It's not about that, because we've lost so many soldiers, we've lost so many lives, so many people. What it's about for me is, how do we spin this? If it's not with us as a collective, how do we trust? Because trust has been broken for generations. So I understand that this conversation is not going to change the world. But what you're doing, Curator, is you're giving an avenue for change to come. But people that need to hear this will never see it, bro.
Well, that's TikTok.
Well,
I mean,
Because trust me, I only
even
got
the news.
37. I only got 37 people here. Let me start
But
talking
even the
some
news,
ignorant
but
stuff about
even
MAGA.
the-
I
but-
go into the
but-
thousands sometimes.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even the news, you can get a national news like CNN, Fox, MSNBC, who are controlled by the monsters, right? They're controlled by the you know, whatever they call that, the conglomerate or whatever. It's gonna always be spent against immigrants. You're gonna see stuff about black people. You're gonna see stuff about just the worst of the worst, but never, if you ask a question about real facts, then you'll never get an answer for it, and it may not never air.
Well, I understand exactly what you're getting at, what you're saying, and it's well said. Here's the deal.
Thanks, brother.
As long as as me, you, and my man, the moderator, and everybody else that's listening, that's on the face of the earth, we're not going to see the utopia. We're not going to live long enough for that, right?
Yeah,
So we
I don't
have
think
to
so.
understand, it's like, well, why do you vote? For me, I vote because I want it to be that much better for the following generation. And that's what MAGA and obviously the Republicans have completely gone away from understanding. This is the why you vote. It's not about what's happening right now. That's just a part of it. It's about why are we where we're at right now and how we can change it for the future generations with our vote. We're not going to, you cannot go to bed at night thinking like, oh, damn, I can't trust these people, you know, these people in the media and this, that, and the other. Okay. We understand that the media for the most part blows according to who's paying the bills. We get that, okay? But again, we have to go back to say we've already been woke. We've already been accepting and those types of things. Now, what you're seeing, my black brother in Mississippi, is that there are more people out there who are of different races who have already been about the camaraderie of us. They just are in communities and whatnot where they couldn't express themselves or even have friends and whatnot. But like, TikTok, all these different media platforms have been formed to come out that's bringing this world closer and closer together. And that's why I said you're seeing the fight isn't amongst black and white right now. They know our position as we know there as a collective whole, as far as those that are in the power positions, right? But what's happening is you're starting to see them finally be affected. And I'm talking about those who weren't on our side a year ago. You're starting to see them slowly being affected by, their pockets, and they're seeing the bullshit, and they believe that Donald Trump, for example, or I shouldn't say it. I don't know. I don't want you guys to get cut off or anything like that, right? But
they do it to me all the time. Go ahead. I'm on YouTube also, so I dual stream on both. So if I get cut off here, y'all can find me on YouTube. Okay, that's why I do it on both.
So let me finish what I'm saying, because I don't want to hold up the time, because I want to hear my man's response. But that's why you're seeing this shift, because white folks are fighting each other in their own families now.
Yeah,
because
I wouldn't count on any
support. You claim you wanted a guy who was tough on crime. You voted for a guy who's been charged with criminality and convicted. Even though it wasn't in county court, or I'm trying. It was in civil court, right?
Civil court,
yeah.
Okay, and then and they didn't want to believe it. And then even though just a little bit of that changed some people's minds, and then what's going on with these files, it's changing people's minds, right? Then what's hitting them in the pockets, it's changing their mind. And then these facts about who's really on SNAP and getting these benefits and whatnot, that the majority is white folks, right? Which I knew from my sociology class and statistics class when I was in college at Kent State University. They taught me that back in the mid-90s, right? But so many people the erroneous education has been going on in this country to make those feel that they're deserving of privilege, power, and money and advancement and placement in this life simply because they're white. And because it hasn't been getting down to the farmers. Now the farmers are feeling the effects of the fact that, they voted a certain kind of way against their own interest, and, kind of whatever reason forgot that they were also on SNAP, also on Medicare, all these different things, and they can't afford it now. So now it's hitting them in their pockets. Black folks, we're on the sidelines where we're actually calling the plays, because we're just directing. Hey, look, don't forget what he said over here, right? You do have, good black politicians. Some of the Dems, they're weak. It is what it is. They need to be much stronger. But that's neither here nor there, because you have other platforms and people just pointing out to say, whether it be comedians like, Cat Williams or whomever. Hey, don't forget about this over there. Don't forget about that over there. We're just pointing the fingers. And as you can see, the rabid dog, who is now the woke people, they're running to that particular bone.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what, bro?
We're on the sidelines. We're in the fight, but we're just kind of like calling the plays a little bit. These people are here fighting.
But listen, brother. For me, now this is just my thoughts.
Go ahead.
Okay. And not trying to cut you off, bro.
No, go ahead.
My thoughts is this, and I'm 8-year military. I'm 8-year Navy vet. I was an aircraft fueler. Fuel planes on Dwight D. Eisenhower, George Washington, CBN 6971. I'm a little bit older, but but not only that, I see the new age because of I got 4 kids. in all generations. Well, three in one generation and one in another, but we'll talk about that later.
We all got skeletons, my dude.
Yeah, but for me is what I'm looking at as a strategic type person and not a dumb individual at all by any means. I feel like that by us as a culture not being together is where we need to be. But I feel it tightening. I feel the belt loop tightening just a little bit because I see videos of, I see rappers done not wearing their chains no more and not buying gold and this and that. So my thing is that I feel like, because for me, I feel like that we're the head of it all. So I love how we laying down. And I want us to keep laying down, but we need some reconnaissance. Because the big fight is coming. Not saying as far as like Revolutionary War, not saying pew-pews and this and that. It's all gonna be ink and paper. That's what's that. Because I was already told that years ago, they said that, if you want anything done, everything's done by the pen. And I'm seeing that to be kind of true.
100%.
It always has been.
So what I'm saying is that I think we need to fall back slowly and grasp the ones that's true and bring them into the huddle. And then when we come out to make a play, we got a wide receiver over here. We got this person coming out the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Run a little shield over here. The guard pulling. You know what I'm saying? And this and that. You know what I'm saying? But if we just willy-nilly, we still gonna be right where we at, because you gonna always have black people killing black people. You gonna always have white people killing white people. Mm-hmm. You gonna always have, and see, that's the stigma. Oh well, black people's murder rate is this and that, but normally, if you look at statistics, white people kill white people.
Mm-hmm. And black people kill black people.
You commit crimes according to who is in your general proximity.
Area. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So
at some point, that's the thing with statistics, though. Statistics is
at some point, black people don't be shooting up schools.
We got to bring the force back. We got to bring the huddle back at some point. And we got to check and see who our wide receivers is and who our tight ends is.
That's why I say, like,
I gotta say, man,
is like sitting
just
back.
Real quick though.
Go ahead, Joshua. Go ahead.
You hearing you two talk, man, makes me feel bad because you're setting yourself up to waste an awful lot of time. Like Malcolm X used to talk about, if you're someone who goes and sticks a knife 6 inches into me and pulls it out 3 inches, we're not buddies all of a sudden. Like, still bleeding, I'm still hurting, you still wounded me, right? Mm-hmm. These people that you're talking about trying to find commonality with, because they're now hurting based on all the racist bullshit that they advocated for. Was it because they were dumb? Was it because they were misinformed? They are those things. But that's not the reason why. It's because they are patently, forwardly racist, misogynistic, homophobic, evil people. Don't get fooled by the devil because you traffic in truth, thinking that when they come and tell you, oh, I voted because I want to be hard on crime.
They ain't gonna tell me nothing.
I want a strong border.
Yeah,
because I wanted to get the criminals out.
Black person.
I just thought we were getting the criminals out. That's all.
That's
bullshit.
what I always tell people. When you ask them a question, what has Donald Trump done for you? And the first thing they say is the border. They racist. And you're not going to argue anything differently than me. Because if you live nowhere near the border, if you nowhere near the border and the border was the first thing that meant everything to you, you racist. I ain't got to argue with you about
I
finding anything
don't
like
deal
that.
with them. You know what? Listen, you can't coddle these people. You can't.
Oh, I never did.
I've grown up to understand you can't coddle the master. You can't coddle these people. You got to back up. When you got a
you haven't been
you gotta
here.
back
You
up and
haven't
you gotta
been here
step
before.
forward whenever it's
You
time.
haven't seen the
But
rest
yeah,
of
but
our
then,
lives.
but then, don't waste your time. When you have to come to these people and say, you said you voted for lowering the price of gas and groceries,
I ain't gonna
but
never
it
tell them
turns
that.
out that actually the majority of people on Snap are white people. And I'm gonna break down the facts and the figures and try to educate you. They don't fucking care.
I know
They just
exactly
want to
what
believe that black people are on Snap because
the
black
figures you
people
know.
are
I know,
lazy, and that's what they want to believe. They don't care what the actual numbers are. They're racist.
But bro, the figures you know, I know. What I'm telling you is that at what point is revolutionary if you're not gonna figure out that that's what's gonna have to succumb in order for it to get down?
Well, I
Okay.
think that the youth.
Now, here's the deal. When you're talking about revolutionary and those types of things, right? You're still going to need the support of white folks. Period.
True.
Okay. So with that being said, okay, if you
Put
look
them up
at
front
in the
first.
United States where there's black folks and white folks living and having a harmonious relationship, right? I will
I
show
ain't
you
crazy
an
about
area
that, bro.
that has
I ain't crazy about
that is economically viable. All right. So my point is, as long as policies and whatnot are hitting the MAGA man in his pockets and whatnot, right? Because he's already broke or poor, or whatever the case may be, and he's been under this delusion, right, for so long, thinking that this man or this particular presidency is going to save his pockets. No, you are a poor or lower middle class white male, right? And unfortunately, black folks fall into that category also. Not as a whole, right? But I'm basically saying that once it starts affecting that man, because it's already been affecting us for centuries, right? Okay, once it starts affecting that man, he can still be a bigot, a prejudiced person or whatever, but he's going to vote on certain things that's going to free up money into his particular community, right? And when that starts happening, okay, that's what is the one main thing that's going to start bringing the races even more closer together, because you have more in common now. You can't just stand up and say, well, I don't want to vote for, I don't want you to have Medicare. I don't want you to have SNAP benefits.
That's what they're doing.
But right, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're doing,
and it's working.
No, it's not working, because it has finally hit him into his own home, and he's losing his house. He's losing his business. He can't work. He can't find people to push the mower for him or whatever the case may be on his farm, right?
Bro?
The second it no longer impacts them, they're going to fall right back to being an enemy.
The 99%, that's he. That's who you talking about. We need to be talking about the one up there.
That's the negative outlook, right?
The issue with that is that we gotta fix the policies, and we gotta fix who's included in writing these policies.
Because that's the thing. Separated.
That's what most people fail to realize, because that's one thing I tell a lot of people, like, because I don't see myself as a Democrat, I don't see myself as a Republican.
Me neither.
I'm an American. I'm an American.
Me neither.
The way I see it is, though, is just like I went to school for it. I got my master's degree in public administration. And that's when I wanted to understand more what was going on with policy. Because the thing is like I've been telling people from the get, everything this administration is doing is legal.
So
everything that they're doing is legal. The thing is that people don't understand policies and don't understand the way that it was written. Because the thing is the way something is written can be changed.
You're talking about that they're abiding by.
They're abiding by. Look, so this is the one thing that some people didn't know about. Border Patrol, right? Do you notice how they're in all these different cities and not by the border? Was because they changed the policy when they first came into office. The office changed it, of Border and Customs changed it, that now 100 miles from the border and any body of water is considered the border. No longer the southern border that connects to Mexico or the northern border that connects to Canada. So what they first did before they started all these raids and stuff, that's what they did. They changed the policy, basically stating that now any place that's within 100 miles of the border is considered the border now. And if you look at it, everything on the East Coast, what is every major city within 100 miles of the coast? Because there was no border there. You didn't have a bordering country. So they changed the law. The same thing with Chicago, a body of water. From Canada, it's about 200 something plus miles. But from a body of water that connects to something else, it's within 100 miles. So that's why they can go into Chicago. That's why they can go into New York. That's why they can go into all these cities, because they changed that policy. But most people weren't even aware that they changed that, because before the border was just the northern border and the southern border. But they wanted to change it so that they would have the ability to go into different places that they knew they wouldn't have any jurisdiction otherwise. So they changed the policy and said, okay, everything within 100 miles of the body of water that's connected, or if whatever the outside of the country is, 100 miles from within there, Border Patrol can do any kind of ICE enforcement, and we can do it legally.
Yeah, and
That's why they've been doing it, and that's why they haven't been able to send the National Guard everywhere, because it's only the National Guard that's going within the states that are allowing it, because the Republican dumbasses that are allowing it. That's why they're just sending anything like that. So that's one of the policies that they did, which they're legally doing it. They're going overboard. Yes, are they being excessive? Yes, but that is still a legal abiding law that they created, changed to benefit them, and they're just going within the limits of that. And they're just trying to change shit slowly, and they distract you with all this other stuff. Because they distract you with this thing, they distract you with that, and they keep on passing bills. Because that's why most people don't pay attention to Congress.gov, where they show all the policies and all the bills that these Republicans are proposing. And it's some outlandish shit that's on there. But most people don't know about it.
2025.
Yeah. But then but then listen to what I'm saying. But listen, to win, you stop telling them about what the law say, and they go over top of you, and everybody else say it's okay. When do we say what?
But that's the thing. That's why there's lawsuits. Because the thing is that's the issue with policy and the interpretation
lawsuit don't mean nothing at this point. You know how many lawsuits they got in Congress right now?
A lawsuit, basically, what the lawsuit does for them, it doesn't stop the justification. It is basically they're trying to put an injunction so that they stop doing it. The only thing is that depending on how long these cases take, that's how long they can continue to do the stuff without being stopped. It's basically like when somebody goes to jail or somebody gets arrested, they got their court hearing like months away. It was just like, you still in jail. They didn't let you out to the hearing. That's what
my man for the
You're right. You're right.
So
you're right. See, me, I'm too radical.
Because
see, me, I want to go straight to where the lawsuit at.
Yo, somebody in the comments is going crazy.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. You don't see it in that way because it's just like, that's the thing. This administration is using the Supreme Court as it pleases now. Because you never heard of the Supreme Court looking at all these court cases before the way it does now. Now it's like, hey, we need you to look at this, and they just looking at it. Before, it would take months and sometimes even years for them to even look at a case or revisit.
But look how you got. But look who we got on the Supreme Court.
Well, look here, Cruz, man. I got to hop off here because, as you know, there's a lot of earnings coming out tomorrow to end the week.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a rough week, man. And I actually had to come on here to talk to you because I'm trying to avoid all the finance talk people who got their screens lit up all red.
All red?
One after another, after another, after
I'm
another.
I'm gonna drop down, man. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. You always welcome, bro. Always welcome.
I'm gonna keep listening. I want to hear it all.
Sip, my dude.
Love all y'all, man. Love all y'all. Peace. Ohio, love you, bro. Love y'all.
IPPI. I'm down with you.
Yes, sir.
As you know, Cruz, I talked to you all week about inverse leverage, about trying to move away, about how interest rates aren't going to get cut and this market going to drop. Talked all week about it. And all these motherfuckers sat there, touting bull runs and all this, and now what are they doing? Sitting down -10, -12, -15%. I don't feel like making the rounds and going and saying I told y'all to all of them. But anyway, the thing I want to leave as an impact on the guys we've been talking to. I know that you're an atheist, but I'm a red letter Christian. And one of the things that I've been instructed to do is not to cast pearls before swine. The instruction is if there's someone that's not willing to receive your message, or they're just too stupid, too ignorant, too unread, or too evil to be able to catch the blessings of what you're talking about, you are instructed to knock the dust off your sandals
and go on to the next.
Continue walking on your journey.
Right.
When you're here on TikTok, understand that these older people that are set in their ways, these triple Trumper, MAGA people, worthless motherfucking people, they're not going to back down. Even if for temporary, they're going to stop wearing their MAGA hats because they're embarrassed that it's affecting them personally. But trust me, when they go in the booth the next time, they're going to check that JD Vance or whatever it is, whoever it is that's going to harm black people the most. That's what they're going to keep doing.
Sure, and
it's
that's why all of us have to turn out and vote.
Advocating these people. Reach out to these young people that are on TikTok all day, that are scrolling through, and they said, I heard a news story that said what Trump said isn't actually racist. But then they're going to swipe through here, and they're going to say, Creator A, here's why what Trump said was racist. Creator B, here's why what Trump said was fucked up. Creator C, oh, here's why what Trump said actually, here's some historical, this and that. They have too much access to information to get gaslit like we did growing up.
But that's the thing. The thing is that that's the one thing that now the internet has changed for these people, because the thing is they are losing these younger generations are starting to see through their lives.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
But they also at the same time, they feel completely disenfranchised. Like, what are they going to do? The shit's too far gone. They're just a small. That's why they don't want the No Kings protest. They don't want BLM. They don't want you to know how big that is. They don't want you to know how many other people. They don't want you networking.
The thing is, they don't want you.
They don't want you in this channel. They don't want you talking to Cruz and understanding.
They definitely don't want me here because
you.
they don't spin it as much as I do when I'm doing. When we're having the good conversations about fixing shit and actually doing it, I don't get the numbers. But when it's me talking shit to MAGA, my numbers explode. But it's just like it's the reality of it is just that it's just we have to have more of these conversations. It's just like we have to find and we have to have more people having these conversations to allow people to see what's ongoing and what changes. Most of the time, most people don't see these conversations because they're over here watching TikTok for some dumbass reasons or whatever the case may be. But then the thing is you have a lot of people that have the ability to speak, but they don't do so. Because that's what bothers me with celebrities the most. It was just like, most celebrities have the ability to speak out on all these things and speak on it, but you never hear them say a fucking thing. And it was just like, yeah, you might get blacklisted or whatever the case, but people are still going to support you. You may not be able to live this stuff, but the thing is if a group of enough of y'all start saying these things, people start listening. The thing is that the people that get all the attention they don't put the point across, or they racist themselves and don't want to say it out loud and don't want to talk. But you never see these people highlighted and never come on talk shows and say this stuff. And that's the problem we have. So the thing is a lot of these people get influenced by the thing. Like he was saying, like you had Michael Jackson and all these people that influence a lot of people. When you have people playing sports, that influences people. Because the thing is what does it try to teach people? Hey man, if you could play some hoops, you make it out the hood. Not that you're gonna get an education or anything, but if you play basketball, you can make some money. Then you can get yourself out. But then you're not educated enough to know what to do with the money, and then you end up bankrupt like most of these athletes end up anyway. Just like it's those things that is just a highlight. But then that's the thing, it's just like we put too much emphasis in all the minority community into the wrong things. Some rappers, I don't know why the fuck they get the limelight, but they get all the fucking limelight. And that's what people grow up listening to, and that's what they get ingrained into thinking like, oh, I gotta be on lean and all this stupid shit. And those are the people that get there. All the conscious rappers that actually talked about real shit never got that exposure. And that's how it continues to be, that we need to give people that exposure. If we have these white people that are actually fighting alongside us, those are the people we got to make sure that we're pushing out to the forefront.
Yep.
Because the thing is they're going to look at us as the minorities as crazy. I was like, bro, we ain't listening to this dude. Cruz? His name is Fidel? Nah, fuck that. He already sound Cuban. Fuck all that shit. We can't listen to this dude. Nah, put this dude to the side. But if it's a white person saying it, they're going to be like, you know what? We'll listen. It could just be us in the background. Like he was saying, like Bam was saying, that it was just like, we doing the game plan. We could do the game plan and have them as the pieces. Because some of these people are willing to work with us. Some of these people want us to have the things that they know we deserve. But the thing is a lot of the times, if we have that mentality that, oh, we can't trust them and we can't do that, we ain't going to go nowhere because we need to work together to get there.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to be disheartening, right? But you were asking, not you, but the guy that had jumped down was asking, what it is that black people are supposed to do in the black community to help to get people together and overcome. And the sad answer is, you've done enough, man. You guys don't need to do anything more. You sat here on the front line getting battered and bruised with your bodies for centuries at this point. It's white people need to set the fuck up. And that's what my advocacy is. I, as a white person, get to go around and say, hey, white person, you just being against racism or being not racist isn't enough anymore. You need to be actively anti-racist. You need to put something on the line. You need to jeopardize your white comfort. And that's a hard thing to do because I'll be honest, man, I live in a different level of security than most black people in this country do, just because I'm white. When a policeman pulls me over, the chances of him seeing me as enemy threat is a lot lower, period. I know that. I don't immediately see a cop and go, oh shit, how's this going to go? I'm going to say he's probably just going to come up and ask for my license and stress me about while I'm speeding or whatever, but I don't feel in danger. Just like I live in a different level of security, and so do all of us, than every woman in this country lives in. So the difference in security between what I'm allowed to say and the safety I'm allowed to have is way different than that of a black woman. Period.
No,
you know what I mean? I can go out and walk around at night. I don't have to worry about someone going to run up on me and grab me, throw me in the car, do something to me. Somebody's going to slip something to me in my drink when I'm out at the bar if I'm not watching it. I'm not going to go home with a shorty and have to worry that she might overpower me if I decide I want to change my mind.
No,
see what I'm saying?
Understand that. No,
same thing with no woman's going to take my pants off and go, oh shit, you're straight. Or, oh shit, you're a cisgender. And then want to commit violence against me. I don't ever have to worry about those type things. It's like, our responsibility as people that have historically never had to risk anything. Get outside your comfort zone and get out there and say something that might cost you something to take a bold stance. And if the more people that do that, I mean, that's the thing that I liked about Black Lives Matter. It was mostly white people that were out on the streets that were saying, look, man, I saw the George Floyd thing. That's some bullshit. Even though it doesn't affect me personally, I don't want to live in a country that kind of shit happens. I didn't understand that was what was happening. Get out there and be active and call motherfucking people out if they're being performative, white people. Like Cruz was just talking about now, the Taylor Swifts of the world.
Yeah,
you got $1 billion platform and don't say a motherfucking thing about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Call those people out. Cost these people money.
It's funny that you mentioned like the Taylor Swift of the world and whatnot, right? First and foremost, you have to understand you can't get beyond the simple truth of the matter is this. When you want change, as we all do, as all of us, we want change. But I have to, some things can happen immediately, and that's very, very rare in your lifetime that immediate change is going to happen because of some scenario or situation. For example, a 911. Okay, that changed everybody immediately, right? So when you're talking about social change, social change is only going to happen with these one people, right? You
You cut
literally
it
have
out a bit, bro.
I'm able to talk to this person, white or black, over here, and I'm able to give them the truth about what's going on in this country just by knowing me, right? Befriending me or whatever the case may be. You can make a change like that. It's not like you got to go in front of and we've been plenty of white and black people, right? Over the past 10, 12 years since this magazine has exploded out of control, right? That have gotten out there in the forefront and on, their particular, in front of their particular audiences, and have made speeches about why this is wrong, right? And Taylor Swift did an interview, and she was like, I'm not down with that shit. I want to be on the right side of history. That right there and there just influenced a whole group of young white girls from the ages of, like, say, 25 down to 12. You know what I mean? Because they are down with Taylor Swift or, any other rapper or any other woman, a singer, I should say, that is willing to stand before their audience and say, hey, I'm not down with this, da 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 da. If she's in fact able to say that in front of 50,000 streaming fans, believe me, that affects 20 to 30,000.
No, yeah, I understand that. The thing is just that those are like one-off things. I was just like, to actually do that change, we can't just have these people that have that influence just do it on a one-off thing, because she just did that once. It's not like she's doing that at if she's doing that at every concert, that's gonna cause more change, because then that's gonna affect
100%.
more people. But if she's just having it one time and it's just like she said it to that one group and it was some random ass city that she was in, it was like that doesn't do anything, because everybody hits that little highlight. But then the thing is there's no emphasis on that. It was just like, it has to be a continuous emphasis to cause that change. It can't be a one thing was just like the whole thing with this No King's Day crap. Like, I agree with it, but at the same time, y'all not doing anything because y'all doing it one day, and then y'all not boycotting shit. Y'all just not doing it for that day, and then the next day you out there buying shit from the same people anyway. So it's not like it doesn't have that effect that you actually trying to do. You trying to do the No King's Day. All right, you're gonna be out there, you're gonna boycott, you're gonna stand out and protest. I know everybody can't do it every day. Everybody can't do it. People got bills, people got jobs. But at the same time, you can do it in another way that contributes, which is, hey, stop buying all the shit you buying. And make it an effect and make it a movement. But the thing is people don't do that. People just think, hey, I made a sign. I was out there on this day. We did it one day and I did my part. That shit don't do nothing. It was like, that's the whole reason that these people made it.
Well, yeah,
that's sacrifice in the afternoon.
You have to. The impact has to be economic.
Yeah, but the thing is what people don't understand is that this is the reason the government made it this way, because they knew you weren't gonna cause no change, and that's the one thing that people fail to realize. You have to sign up and say you're gonna do this protest, meaning you have to go and sign up for the shit. You got to make it legislatively correct that you're going to go and protest in this area for this amount of time and stuff like that. They wanted to do it because that's a way to control how you do the protest. Because they saw if the protest gets wild, ain't no fucking city police department taking care of New York City. There's 40-something thousand cops and there's 9 million people in New York City. I don't give a fuck how many cops you send, what National Guard you send. Ain't nobody stopping New York City if the whole city decides to go crazy. But that's the thing. They wanted to make it that's the thing. They wanted to influence it in a way. It was like, how can we control these protests? Well, we got to tell people where they can be. We got to tell them they can only do it for a certain time. But then after that, people going to disperse. Now, are y'all still communicating after? Are y'all doing anything after? No, everybody feels like they did something on that day, but then they don't proceed with the next step. And the next step is like, hey, you have to make it felt. So you got to make them feel it. And the only way these people feel these things is by money. It has to be an economic thing. It has to be money. It's you doing
100%.
unless you are able to change the policy or change the law by having somebody that's in office already that you know can write and change the policy and change the bills that are being proposed. You have to make it an economic thing because that's the only other way they're gonna listen. If you can't change the laws, you have to change what makes the laws run, and that's money. Because if you don't have money to fund anything, you don't have money.
100%.
Meaning I can't influence Amazon can't influence shit if people stop using Amazon. Jeff Bezos ain't gonna pay for a $50 million fucking rental of Venice in Italy if nobody's using Amazon. It's not going to be easy to just shut them down, but it's a process to take them down slowly where the effects are just like, hey, we have the power to move more and control more than we actually realize. But the thing is people just think that going out to fucking parade it's just basically you doing a parade. You just did a parade.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I see.
They didn't sacrifice anything.
You made a parade.
They sacrificed an afternoon. That was it.
You had your posters, and that's it. Then besides that, you went back to doing the same thing you've been doing. You didn't change anything. They looked at you, laughed at your signs, and kept on making money.
Well, 2020 is a great example of that, right? You had Trump get in. He did all this fucking bullshit. Nowhere near as bad as now. But, you know, it wasn't like he was not laying the groundwork for some shit.
Oh, he definitely did.
Biden got in office, and what happened? All the champagne liberals went back out to brunch. They said, yep, okay, we got Biden in there, racism solved, and...
Yeah, they thought the fight was over with.
Yeah, fight's over, go back out and drink mimosas and sit around and talk about our coach purses or whatever. Like, again, like, these people are not willing to sacrifice shit. And that's the thing you can call out. Like, yeah, Taylor Swift got up there and said, I think Trump's a bad guy because he's not nice. Okay, that's really brave of you to say. I'm sure you lost some fans that were never going to listen to your fucking music in the first place. How about Taylor Swift stand up there and say, like, hey, it's unethical for a billionaire like me to even exist. How about you regulate someone like me out of fucking existence? She ain't going to say that.
Yeah, basically. Because what is it
She ain't
going to
stand out there and say, hey, all this money I got, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to provide legal counsel to all the people that are getting locked up in Chicago right now. All the, you know, I'm going to provide immigration lawyers and stuff for all these people because there might be legal consequence to that. You know, Trump might send the National Guard to her mansion. Well, we can't do that. So she's going to be quiet on that. She's going to be quiet about Gaza.
That's the thing. It was just like all these people were quiet on Gaza. They ain't saying nothing. It's been happening. It's been quiet here. People been talking about it. You talk about Gaza. You talk about Sudan. You talk about all these places where
Congo,
assistance
all that,
can be sent
Darfur.
and nothing gets said about it. And then here in this country, look at the fact that you have people okay with people not having SNAP benefits. That was just like, what did it happen? It started hurting what? MAGA, because they're the ones that use it the most. And then all of a sudden, there's like, hey, bro, you're going too far. Yeah, bro, you doing too much right now. It was like, bro, that's my wallet you hurting right now. And that's what it is. And that's the thing what people don't understand. It's people's wallets that get affected. If people can't pay for their shit, that's what they're doing. That's why they're trying to float this bullshit instance of a 50-year fucking mortgage.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people are going to find out about insurance premiums here in a minute.
It's not even that. It's just that a lot of people are going to sign up for these 50-year mortgages because they think, damn, I'm only going to be paying this amount. Or this is only the amount I can
mortgage though.
Well, no, yeah.
But that's only if you're going to actually leverage that money.
You're never going to live long enough to pay it off.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, because that's what I said. What was it? Yesterday I said that. I was just like, the fucking life expectancy in the United States is what, 73 years old?
73, 74 years old, something like that. Yeah.
So you got to buy a house at 23?
Yep.
To pay your shit off by the time you die? Like, that's crazy. I was just like, if it works right, yes. But the thing is the whole thing is
but don't ever pay off your house, man. Don't do that.
No, the thing is that, but that's the thing. People don't understand that this next generation and this young generation that is hurting right now that can't get a house because they've raised the prices and all this stuff, they're the ones that are going to be more likely to fall and get duped for this. They're the
100%.
ones that are gonna
That's
fall
gonna be
into
the
it
new
because it's
norm.
just like we need a house. I want to be
Yeah,
able
that's
to buy
gonna
a
be the new
house.
norm.
Yeah,
I just
and
don't
then
even understand how it's even a solution.
the
You know,
thing
and right
is
now,
dumb
going out and
people.
getting a
Come on,
house on a
Joshua, you should
30-year
know that.
mortgage
You should
is
know
It's the
that.
government
$3,300
rental
payment.
program system. That's all it is. It's a government rental program system.
But if
That's
it's
all it is.
$3,300
It's
a
rent a
month
center
on a
for the government.
30-year mortgage, and now it's $3,100 a month on the 50-year mortgage,
Mhm.
I don't think that really makes a substantial enough difference for someone who's making $7
But
an hour.
but that's the thing. They're not gonna offer that to the people that can afford it. That's the thing, Joshua. That 50-year loan is not gonna be for everybody. That's going to
No.
be for the people that have that low credit score, have that low paying job, have government assistance, because
Yep.
then it's going to make them think that they can afford it. For a person
Yep.
that can afford it, 33, they ain't offering that shit for a house that's going to be costing $3,300 a month.
Yep.
That
Yep.
shit is
You're
going to be
right.
for that house that's like $1,200 a month,
That's right.
maybe
That's right.
$1,500 a month max.
That's right. That's right.
Because that's
right.
how they're going to get people to buy into those houses because they know they can't afford anything else. If
Yeah.
you can afford the 30-something hundred, nah, bro, you could do a 15-year.
Yep. It's for people with bad credit and low income
That's
people
how they
and
get
whatnot.
people stuck in those things. That's the
Yeah.
reason why people
Yeah.
think for people that have money and make more money, a 50-year loan sounds actually pretty good. It ain't that
Yeah.
bad.
Depending on what the
But
interest
if
rate
you
is on it, yeah.
if you broke and struggling already and you can't afford to buy a house at the 30-year mortgage, that means you don't got the money to pay it off even faster. So they're going to entice you with, hey, I lowered it $300. And
Yep.
now you're
And
going to
then-
pay as much interest. You're going to pay
Yep.
3 times or
Yep.
4 times the amount of the
Yep.
house that you wanted to pay for
Yep.
in that whole time.
Yep.
And then you're going to probably
Yep.
pass away before you even pay the
Yep.
shit off. So
And
you're
then
not
once-
going to be able
and
to
then
pass
once
that
you can't
down.
pay it off, and once you
Foreclosed.
can't pay it off, you know, the
Foreclosed.
government's just going to take it away from you.
And they foreclose it, and instead of you being
Yep.
able to pass it down to your family, it gets
Yep.
foreclosed, and now it goes back to the next idiot that gets it.
Yep. Yep. You're 100% right, my brother. I say that's what it is.
That's
You know what I mean?
that's what they
But
do.
they're not
They're-
going to present it like that. They're not going to
They're
present
they're
it
not
like
gonna
that.
tell you
That's
like
the
that.
catch-22.
That's
Yeah,
the whole
they're
thing.
never gonna give you something that's advantageous to you, at least the
No.
current administration.
Because
And-
that's
if
the
you
whole
know
point
it's
of
coming
it.
from this current administration, you know it's bogus. It's bullshit. You have to. But unfortunately, there's too many people that are in desperate situations and whatnot. They're not going to
And-
look at it like
And
that.
that's what they're gonna prey on.
Yep.
That's how this government always preys on it. It was just like, look at how they do it with SNAP benefits. Look at how Walmart has most of its workers on SNAP because they know they don't have to pay for them. Then they don't have to pay for their health insurance because they're not full-time employees. But now those
Well,
are the
they're-
same people that are
they're
going to do
perfectly-
those 50-year loans. Because if
Yeah,
they
well, they're
can't afford
perfectly
anything
comfortable
else,
with letting you and I subsidize their workforce.
well, yeah, but that's the thing.
That's what that is.
But that's when they're gonna take more advantage of. Because now the thing is what do you have? You have this person that's gonna lock into a 50-year loan, and you know this person is gonna keep on working to keep on paying every month,
Hmm.
Yep.
and you're gonna lock them in, and that's it. Now imagine locking somebody in for 50 years. That's basically slavery.
Yep.
We just not gonna call it that. We're gonna call it the fucking get you a home loan. That's what we're gonna call it. We ain't gonna say it's slavery because nobody's gonna sign up for that. But if I say I'm gonna get you in a house,
Yep.
everybody's
That's
gonna
something
jump
different.
on that quick.
Yeah,
But hold on,
that's something different.
I get my own house. I got a
Yep.
garage. I
Yep.
got a driveway. Oh, shit.
Oh,
sign
we
me
did
up.
the same thing with adjustable rate mortgages and shark loans and shit back in 2008, prior to 2008. We did the same
And that's
thing.
Yep.
the same
Yep.
thing that's gonna
That's-
happen now.
Yep.
It's the
It's
same
just
thing.
it's the same thing.
We just
It's just
changing the
called
names.
something different. Yep. Yep.
We came up and thought of another thing that they haven't done before that we can do
Yep.
the same thing, but it sounds fucking amazing.
Yep.
A 50-year mortgage with lower payments? That sounds fucking amazing. Like who wouldn't like most dumbasses
you
is
just
gonna be
wait-
like, oh,
you
shit,
just
this
wait
is
on that.
fucking great.
We're gonna have that 50-year car note that's coming next.
No, you didn't hear about the 15-year?
No, you bullshitting me.
No, I'm dead serious. They floated that
With
shit
a
around
15-year
too.
car
A
note.
15-year car loan. It's the same one that
So what
fucking
happens when
floated
the
this
car don't last
50-year.
15 yeyears?
Hey,
Then
bro,
what?
we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. You just gonna be able to pay for your car for 15 years.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay paying on a car I ain't got.
My man, you said you needed a car. You got the car. You gonna pay it off in 15 years. This shit is only gonna last you 4.
Yep.
But you still gonna owe me for
4 to
another
6,
11 years.
but you got it for 15.
Yep. But you still gonna see. They got 7-year car loans now. They just keep on pushing it up higher and higher because the fucking car is fucking what? A newer version. The 2026 is now 80,000. Like, bro, 5 years ago the shit was only 40. How the fuck y'all add $40,000 worth of bullshit into the car that I don't even recognize? And that's how they just gonna get people. Because the thing is they basically want you on a subscription service.
Yep.
We got you monthly for years. And if I got you on a monthly subscription for 50 fucking years, that's money I know I'm gonna get. That means I know I got you for 50
They do that. They're doing that
fucking
now with the
years.
cars, right?
Yeah.
Like if you got a Ford truck, there's Ford navigational system that you got to pay a subscription service, and if you don't pay it, then you either have to not use any of the navigation or nothing, or rip it all out of your fucking dash and put in some third party thing. You know, so you just pay the subscription.
Oh no, and don't forget that takes out your warranty.
That's true.
So that when your shit fucks up, we ain't gonna fix it. Because you fucked up your
That
warranty.
negates
'cause we
your
didn't get the
warranty,
subscription.
100%.
You see, bro. Yeah,
Because
y'all lucky.
you did unauthorized, not non-certified / unauthorized
Y'all lucky
upgrade or
I'm not
update to your
evil.
car. That's aftermarket, ain't got nothing to do with the warranty.
Y'all should be glad I'm not evil. Because this is me just thinking of the shit because I know this is what they gonna do.
Yeah. Hey, my man, I got to get off, man. But it was
same
wonderful
here, man.
talking with you. Hey, I coach. I'm not going to say the name of the high school, but it's a very prominent all black high school here in Cleveland. I coached them. We're in the playoffs. We got some championship rings. We send kids off to major college football programs.
Hey,
Again, I would say the name.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
You know, and I got a playoff game tomorrow night, and I was taking a break from looking at film and all that good stuff. And I got to get back to it. But I would love to be able to get back on it sometime, man. I'm going to follow you.
Anytime.
Yeah, man. And keep doing what you do, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Good luck tomorrow on the game.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm hop off too, man. Like I said, all these earnings calls tomorrow, I'm gonna be.
You're gonna be busy.
It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's triage at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to hold on. I'm down like 2%. Most people are down about 8.
Yeah,
10.
most people are down.
So I can't be too upset. But even then, man, fucking, you got to figure for me, 2% is $170,000, man. That's a fucking hard pill to swallow in a day.
For some people, that 2%. Well, no, for some people, for those people that have that 8 and 15% down, it's not with that amount of money. So it hurts them in the pocket more. But it's still lost money, but it's not the same money lost.
I got to say, anyone that's listening, man, if you're in the market, don't trade with emotions right now. Don't sell while you're already down and lock in those losses. Don't do it. Yep. Just a friendly reminder that over a decade, there are 10 days total over an entire decade where half of your gains are within those 10 days, those large market moving days. And usually they're due to there being a pullback and then a correction. And if you're out, if you pull your money out and you miss one of those days, you are significantly harming your overall long-term growth. Don't do it. Go take an inverse leverage position if you feel the need to get defensive, but don't just take your money out and sit on it. Don't do that, please.
Use it wisely. Do your research. Listen to these earning calls because that shit is going to be influential. And just listen to Donald Trump
TLSQ,
and
not
just pay
financial
attention to
advice.
him saying some stupid
Follow me
shit.
on Blossom.
Listen, just pay attention to
Not
him doing
financial
some stupid
advice.
shit. Pay attention to Donald Trump in case he say some stupid shit, and that's it. And just wait another 2 weeks.
Wait, man. Enjoy your night.
Cancel that shit. You too, man. Appreciate you, Joshua. But yeah, man, that's the thing that most people don't realize when it comes to these conversations. Like, you have to have these conversations in order to educate people and have people listen to it. The thing is TikTok don't like pushing it out to people like that, because the thing is a lot of these conversations are, I wouldn't say tough to have, because sometimes you need to make sure you have the people that are willing to listen and willing to contribute to it. But the thing is you have to, it's basically like you in the stock market, you got to leverage what you have. You got to leverage your equity. Equity is with certain white people, and white people that have that leverage, they have that equity, they have the ability to speak out, they have the ability and the platforms. Because the thing is for most of the time, minorities aren't looked in that way. Look at the amount of times I've already been, people try to ridicule me, and I have a master's degree, and people be like, oh, it's not worth anything. I was just like, oh, you probably got it from a dumbass college. I was just like, that's as simple as it is. But if you have somebody that is a white person saying that, they're not going to be viewed the same way. They'll be like, oh, he got a master's degree. I was just like, it's the same thing as the way it's viewed in different perspectives and through minorities and other people. You see it that way, and people don't realize that. But the thing is with TikTok, with technology, with YouTube and all of these other platforms, people are starting to see it more, because it's starting to filter out. Even with the filtering that they're doing, it's still filtering out to people, because people are still seeing the stuff. Because the thing is you can have somebody on, you can have your FYP and your algorithm the way it is. You still gonna get that random video or some shit you never saw. And then it's just like, the fuck? It's like, I didn't know this happened. And the next thing you know, it's just like, since you watched it for so long, TikTok is like, whoa, he liked this shit. Might as well give him some more. And then you keep on doing that. So that's the thing, is just like, you have to make sure that you voicing this out. And the thing is that's why it's always like me. I'm like, videos, I make them because the thing is most of the time I have the thought process, but the thing is I don't just pick up my phone and start recording. A lot of people like to do that. A lot of people can do that. I'm just like, most of the time, the amount of shit that goes through my head that I don't make a video for is ridiculous. Yeah. That's the VA stuff is there, but it wasn't, that's the thing, Aaron, it wasn't always like that. Because before, with the VA benefits, it was just like minorities weren't getting the ability to use all of them. Now it's changed, and now it's being improved, but then you have people that are using it and they don't like this shit. Yeah, that the thing is just like, when you're a person, most of the time it's just like that's something that I've realized and seen. It's just like, as a person of color, most of the time you don't get the same advantage, or you don't get the same thought process, or you don't get the same thing seen. I was just like, that's the thing. It's just like, most of the time you don't see that. Most of the time you don't witness that. Most of the time you have people that just want to be contrary or condescending, because the thing is they've never amounted to that. So a lot of the times it's just jealousy also at the fact that they've never accomplished that. I was just like, how many of MAGA can say they joined the military? A lot of them are so-called patriots, never served a day in their life. And then tell them that, hey, they got a bachelor's degree. That's two things that they probably never amounted to. And then tell them that you got a master's degree. And then put that together. Those are three different things, or different highlights and different accomplishments that most of MAGA has never fucking smelled. But then they always want to downgrade you and say it wasn't worth it, it wasn't good enough, because of the fact that what? They were never able to accomplish that. I was just like, those are the ones that are always as loud as they want to be. They the biggest loud ones, and they always try to be all this, oh, you didn't do this. I was just like, you never served the country, so you're not as patriotic as you supposedly say. You never went and got a higher education, because you said it was a fraud, because you listened to a person like Charlie Kirk that never finished it himself. But then you never learned how to understand what's going on. But then the people that are educated are the ones that are doing all the stuff that you need done, because you never got the education to do so. But they don't see it that way, so you got to explain it to them in the simplest of terms, because most of the time they don't understand that. So most of the time, with all the stuff that's going on, they're the ones that are being left behind. They're the ones that are being taken advantage of. They're the ones that are losing benefits that they should have had or should have and should be receiving, because they are American also. The thing is that they want to differentiate it because they think they're a better American than another person that's actually done more and contributed more to being American than they have. And it's a crazy thought to think of, because it's just like, what have you done to contribute to American society? You didn't get educated. You didn't spread education. What do? Spread ignorance, spread bigotry, spread fucking racism. It's just like, all you do is all this talk and all this yapping haven't amounted to anything. But here you are, right? That's like this dude right here. This Richard dude. All he's been saying is hilarious, laughing and all that stuff. Case in point, it was just like, got awfully quiet after that, right? Can't say nothing when you can't amount to anything. Can't compare yourself to most of the people that you want to say aren't good enough. Because then that's why I made sure that I went to one of the colleges that has been the longest around, has graduated from K-State, Kansas State University, one of the oldest institutions in the country, primarily dominated by white people. But then what? Now I can say I went to the same school as some of them. So how are you gonna say I didn't amount to the same thing? So you're gonna say everybody else that went to the school didn't amount to anything? As you make it difficult for them to find excuses and find reasons for them to try to be condescending, and then it's just funny that it's just like, yeah, when you're in the military, color isn't a thing, but they wouldn't know that, because the thing is they've been stuck in the same positions the whole time. It was like, once you're in the military, you learn that you around people from all different races, all different colors, all different parts of the world, all different parts of the country, all different upbringings. Some people come from the hood, some people come from the suburbs, some people it was just like, it's just people that joined to serve their country, whether it be good or bad. That's just how it came out. But the thing is, at the same time, they don't bother with trying to say, oh, you ain't good enough, or you ain't good enough just because you from this area. Or most of the time, other people just mind their business. And most of these people don't want to mind their business unless it's something that's going to affect them, because they thought it was affecting somebody else. But then turns out, oh shit, you're being affected too. When prices go up, it's not like they were just going to section it off for certain people to get paid more. It wasn't like, oh, you a Democrat, you're going to pay more for gas prices. That's what you call being ignorant. That's what you call being stupid, because you thought that that's what was going to happen. You thought that prices was going to go down just for you. Now, how dumb do you got to be to think that it was just going to affect you, or that it was just going to benefit you, or you were just going to be the one that was like, that's the stupidity of these people. And then it's just like, you got to pay attention to it. And then most of them don't, because the thing is they don't know what to pay attention to. They don't understand none of the shit, so they won't know. Oh, just like it was just like it's the nonsense. But that's why you gotta, like you say, gotta keep on calling people out on the nonsense. Because the thing is you can't let them continue to try to be bold in the stupidity that they have. Some of these people just like to run their mouths because they think they can, and most of them just hide behind their phone or hide behind the screen, because they'll never amount to being able to speak on the level of anybody else. Plain and simple. It's that simple. It's not anything crazy. It's not something out of the blue. Most of these conversations that I always have is just basically on facts. I'm not trying to come up with brand new shit. Most of this shit has already been there. But it's the thing is that you have to educate people. This dude, welcome. Get your ass over. I was like, that's the thing. Most people don't do that. That's why I was just like, it's funny because you always have people come in here. And I was just like, y'all see how I am with people. I'm accepting of everybody. I'll put you up. If you want to talk, we can have a conversation. I don't care how you feel about it or how you view it. The thing is if you ignorant about it or not as educated as I am on it, I understand. I'm not going to be educated on everything. But I try to educate myself on everything that pertains to what's going on, because then the more you know, the more you're able to understand and see how things go. Like the same thing with this 50-year mortgage. People don't understand it. If you got money, you're not going to get a 50-year mortgage because they know you're going to pay it off. The same way, if you got a good credit score and you got thing, you don't have a high interest rate if you got good credit and you got money. But when you broke and got a bad credit score, your interest rate is out to fucking crazy. But people don't understand that. People don't know about a bunch of this shit. And especially when it comes to veterans. That's why I said with veterans, it's just like I try to educate veterans as most as I can. Some of y'all don't deserve to be fucking educated. Plain and fucking simple. I ain't got no hesitation to say that shit. Some veterans don't deserve to be fucking educated. Some of y'all deserve to be fucking struggling because y'all were pieces of shit in the military and you still a piece of shit now. So I don't feel bad saying that shit. But the thing is I'm still going to help you because I don't know how you served, what you did when you served, or how you went about the shit. I'm just going to take care of you because you were a person that I know decided to serve this country. And it's not a lot of people that decide to do that. But I'm not going to hold that against you. And that's the thing. It's just like people don't have these conversations and don't talk about that shit. And that's what causes most of the problems we in right now. Oh, just like too many people get these positions that they give them and they keep on talking all this nonsense and people just keep listening to it. But some of these people, they don't deserve to be listened to. Some of these people on TikTok need to have their shit just fucking deleted because it's like, damn, some of y'all just fucking stupid. Some of y'all just ignorant and some of y'all just racist. I was just like, but what? TikTok gives them a platform. You know why? Because that racism, that ignorance, all that stuff gets more views and they get more money off of it because somebody's watching it. But the thing is, the real shit that gets spoken about don't get the views, don't get the attention, doesn't get pushed out. And that's the thing. So you got to make sure that we pushing out the people that need to. It's just like, y'all see how I am with reposting. I don't repost everything unless it's something I found funny that I was actually laughing my ass off. I'll do it. But then otherwise, it's somebody that's in need. Like one of the last reposts I did was like somebody that was looking for like a kidney transplant. I reposted that shit because that to me is more important than fucking any stupid shit, any fucking dumb dance or something like that. That was just like cancer patient, somebody needing a kidney transplant, something like that, or assistance for anybody that's dealing with the eye stuff and getting more information. That's the stuff you got to do. I'm just like. It was just like that's the thing. Most people don't do that. That's why I tell people I don't want no fucking gifts here. It's just like if y'all want to give Soggy money. If y'all want to give it to Soggy. Y'all don't gotta give it to me. Give it to Soggy. I was like, just give me heart me's and fucking likes. That's it. I'm not concerned. But look, a stream that has 49,000 fucking likes only got 31 people in it. Cause I be talking too much real shit sometimes. They don't like having those conversations because to have 49,000 likes, that's a lot of fucking likes on any fucking live. And I appreciate everybody that's been doing. Ms. Edwards, I seen all those likes. I appreciate you for them. I was just like, but that's the thing. It's just like most of that stuff doesn't get pushed out and people don't understand it. But it's just like you have to have these conversations and you have to keep on doing them. You have to talk about fucking Donald Trump. You have to. The American fucking capability and the ability and the fucking amendments and the fucking Constitution gives you the ability to do so. Whether Donald Trump likes it or not. You have the right to criticize your fucking president if you don't like what he's doing. You have the right to criticize any fucking president. You have the right to criticize anybody that's representing you. You paying taxes to be represented. If you're not being represented correctly, it's on you to say something about it. The problem is that we have too many people in society that think that we should just stay quiet about it. We shouldn't say anything. We shouldn't pay attention to it. My vote doesn't count. I was just like, well, that's the same mentality that they want you to have because the thing is then they get to put whoever they want in those positions because of the fact that you didn't vote. Or when you did decide to vote, you decided to pick on somebody that wasn't even beneficial to you. The thing is that's the only name you recognize. So you didn't even do your due diligence to make sure. So if you're not voting, it's just like, yeah, one vote will not make a change. That I do believe in. One vote alone is not going to do it. But 100 can, 1,000 can, 10,000 can, 100,000 can, 1,000,000 can. One alone ain't gonna do it. But if you put everybody to vote, everybody can make a change. And that's how you start making the changes here. That's how it already started. Look at how the Democrats started winning seats. Why? Because they're getting out there. They're talking to people. They're making people understand that this administration is not doing stuff to benefit them. And as they continue to do that, that can build. But at the same time, just because they Democrats don't mean that they the right people to be in office. That's the thing that people need to realize. It doesn't mean just vote blue. Because the thing is if I fucking know that, if well, everybody's gonna vote blue in fucking 2026, you know what? I'm gonna disguise myself as a fucking Democrat, and I'm gonna have all these people vote for me, and then I'm gonna do some wild ass Republican shit. We're gonna be in the same fucking problem we were before. Because people ain't doing their research. People ain't paying attention to who they're actually voting for. If you actually know who you're voting for, what they're about, what they want to change, that's one thing. But if you just voting just to vote and you just gonna vote Democrat, you can vote Democrat, and there's some Democrats right now that got funded by AIPAC. You think their interest or first interest is with us? That's all I'm saying. You just got to pay attention to who we voted for. If we're going to vote correctly, not just vote wildly and vote crazy, because that's what people are doing right now. It's just voting at will, voting whatever they feel like doing. It's just, you know what? This sounds like a good idea. He sounds cool. He's Democrat. Vote for him. Nah, that's how we going to end up losing in the same place. I was like, you know who you got to get out, but it's all these people that have been there for so long. That's who you got to get out. Those are the people that you got to remove from office. Those are the people that ain't going to amount to anything. If you've been in fucking Congress for this long and haven't done anything to actually help the fucking country, it's time for you to go. It's not an if and a what. It's just like you got to replace them. But the thing is who are you going to replace them with? Because if you're going to replace them with another person that's going to take the same actions and do the same thing that that person was doing, you basically just replaced one person that was there old for a younger person that's going to do the same shit. It just depends on what you got to do. You got to make sure that it's right for the country, right for the people around you, right for your family. And some people still have ways of seeing it that sway them from each way and each side. And it's just like, I can't interact with that. I can't understand that. I can't see how people go about it. That's on how they do it. Well, just like you vote the way you vote. I don't care how you vote. Just make sure that you have a good, valid reason for why you voting that way. Don't make it that you voted that way because of ignorance. Don't be because it's just like, oh, because my family voted this way. Don't do that shit. Do it that it's just like, hey, you doing this because this is how you feel and you have a reason behind it that's actually valid. Not because you wanted the border to be secured. Get out of here with that bullshit. But that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with today, bro. I just had that. I was just like, MAGA never came up and never wanted to have any comments or conversations because they didn't want to talk about the situation. Because right now they awfully quiet with all these emails and all this stuff going on. But MAGA gonna be MAGA, so I'll let them be and let them be. As always, be good to one another. Take care of one another. Look out for one another. Love one another. Stay marvelous while doing it, y'all. I'm just Cruz. This has been another instance of Cruz Talks. If you haven't, follow me on TikTok. Check me out on YouTube. If y'all want to rewatch any of the stuff, it's on there. That's the @ you just put that in there and you can find it there. That's how you find me on YouTube. If you want to rewatch it, I've been doing these simultaneously and I have all these past ones on there. So if you want to watch that way, you can do so. Just subscribe so that way that can get pushed out more and I can grow that a bit more. But as always, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the gifts, all the heart me's, all the likes. Y'all have yourselves a good evening and I will catch y'all maybe tomorrow. Soggy fell asleep. Wake your ass up, Soggy. Soggy done fell asleep. Ain't that some shit? All right, y'all. Yeah, have a good night.